Break ends in 5 seconds.
Jeffrey Howell in the chat says, got a little advice for me. Maggie, for your 40-yard dash at next year's draft, have someone attach a bag of gummies to a stick like they do at a dog track. See, that implies that I needed some kind of motivation. The motivation was to not embarrass myself, which I'm pretty sure I did. I had like a Fred Flintstone kind of wind up where I was like, ah! Like my feet were going, and then I took off.
Yeah.
Like
You were
fast feet.
Next year, maybe, can we get you a coach or something? Somebody tell you how to get out of the blocks?
How about just like a pair of shorts?
Some sneakers, maybe?
I got to plan a little better for this thing.
The upright running style, you have so much wind resistance.
I told you, I'm taller than people think, so that's a whole 5'8". I'm like a parachute out there.
They are Maggie and Perloff on CBS Sports Radio.
I do not feel good about the Lakers' chances right now. Hey, what up? Welcome to Maggie and Perloff on this Wednesday. Perloff, you are somehow encouraged by the Lakers.
That was basically a win for my Lakers.
I mean, you are kind of a moral victory guy, like a moral victory win?
No, not a moral victory win. It was we figured something out in that game, and that is going to define the rest of the series. So dropping game one on the road is not a death sentence for any team.
Although this is the first time the Lakers have done it this postseason. They've won the previous two game ones, kind of set the tone.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, Denver was on fire, and they can't keep that kind of shooting up. And they had two complete hurls at the end of the shot clocks, one by Jokic, one by Murray, that turned out to be not a 3 but a 2. But that was luck. I mean, those shots, and you could see, even after the first half, I thought to myself, these shots can't keep falling. And guess what? They did not.
Well, the first half was epic for the Nuggets. I mean, that was insane. To score 72 points in the first half, that's the most, obviously, the Lakers have given up in a half this postseason. It's a ton. To the Lakers' credit, they climbed out of a 21-point hole and made this a 3-point game, late in the fourth quarter, even though they were out-rebounded by 17 rebounds, and they look pretty dead in the water. So good for the Lakers to come back. Here's why I'm not feeling great for the Lakers right now. Yes, they climbed out of that hole. Davis played great. LeBron was and Reeves were the reason they got back into this thing. They made the adjustment with Rui Hachimura to go on to Jokic. It was a bit better than Anthony Davis or whatever. It was a respite for Davis.
Better. He was 100. He shut him down.
It was awesome. Show me that again from Rui Hachimura. I think that Jokic can adjust to the adjustment. And here's really the big thing. I think that the Nuggets took the Lakers' best punch there. They were like LeBron staring you down. He's got you against the ropes, maybe shaking your confidence a little bit. Definitely on Murray there towards the end of the fourth quarter, even though Murray was awesome. But like the Nuggets took that best punch and they still won the game.
I feel the exact same analogy for the other team. I felt like the Lakers took the Nuggets punch in the first half and did not get intimidated at all.
Interesting.
They were down 21 points.
21.
They didn't seem scared by that team at all. Now there's some serious matchup problems. Obviously, this guy Joker ain't bad. I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah. So what I liked about the
you can only find that kind of analysis right here on the Maggie and Perloff Show.
They switched Rui on to Jokic, and then Davis could float behind him and provide help. That really worked. So I don't think that Rui's going to be able to shut him down like he did last night. Obviously, Joker got a little tired at the end. But I do think this is a better matchup to get Davis off of him, keep Davis out of foul trouble. Now, both teams, foul trouble is a big deal. When Jamal Murray got in foul trouble and he kept on getting switched on to LeBron, that was the only way Jamal Murray can stop LeBron James is to foul him. So I think it's a chess match going both ways, and I think the Nuggets have some strategic problems here.
Well, for sure. I mean, listen, Aaron Gordon was really going to be like the LeBron stopper here, and we got to see what's going to happen with that because LeBron was good. He was, 26 points and 9 for 16. The only thing was LeBron also was 0 for 4 from 3. Yeah. And when they cut the deficit to 3, the Lakers did, late in the fourth quarter, and LeBron was one of the catalysts, him along with Reeves, as I mentioned. LeBron took a three-pointer that everyone in the world knew was going to miss. Like, he took no time off the shot clock. did not work the offense, did not get anyone else involved. He dribbled the ball up the floor and took a three, and no one thought that three was going in. And so LeBron's got to, for as awesome as he is, and he's so good, and he was good last night, but like that, he's got to be able to defer in moments like that, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that he was looking at the 3-point, trying to make it all up at once. He should have gone downhill and tried to get 2. You're absolutely right about that.
Get it to Davis. Get it inside. Get him fouled. He was perfect from the free throw line last night. Davis was 11 for 11. So
what did you see in the second half, though? Don't you think the Lakers can carry over that momentum into Game 2?
Yeah, but I also think that the Nuggets are like, oh, all right, here's the other thing they're going to throw at us. They threw the first thing at us, and we got through that, which is, basically how they played the first half. Then they threw the second thing at us, which is Rui Hachimura and like trying to do the switch on Joker. And it's like, all right, well, we got through that. So what else you got, Lakers? Like, who else is coming off the bench?
Did they really get through that? They kind of got lucky and said, Jokic started having a lot of turnovers in the second half. We tried to force the ball into Gordon. He's such a pass-first guy. Sometimes it hurts him. And is he really going to hit every three-pointer for the rest of time? He's not a 100% three-point shooter, Maggie. He was 3 for 3 last night.
So good last night.
And Murray was 4 for 8. And Michael Porter, he hit a couple, but he also had a stupid foul at the end of the game. I don't think he's ready for this stage. And KCP is amazing. Of course, KCP burns his former team, the Lakers. But I don't know. I just saw better players on the Lakers at the end of the game, except for Jokic. He's the one. And Murray played really well last night, but I think the Lakers got them beat after Joker. Joker's a problem. That guy, by the way, last night I'm like, now I see why he won 2 MVPs.
You're just like, maybe he should have won it this year over Embiid. Well, maybe everyone shouldn't have been so precious about it. Like, turns out he would be a good 3-time MVP. He is that good. He does belong in that class, in that category.
But I think you could give Embiid, regular season, Embiid was basically the same player as Joker. He was a little better.
Well, I think it's because also Joker kind of realized that the winds had changed. It was going towards Embiid. So it's like, all right, well, let me just, sort of coast here in the last part of the season, basically the last month, because they knew they had the number 1 seed locked up.
Yeah, I think you can. This is going to sound really dumb. I think you can slow down Joker. And what I love something that Rui Hachimura said. He said he stuck his knee into the back of Joker's knee and tried to slow him down to keep him from moving. You can see Joker is not. He needs to get loose. He needs to be facing the basket. I think you get into Joker's body, just make it life a little harder. Then he had all these offensive rebounds in the first half. They shut that down. I don't know. I'm putting more money into the Lakers right now.
Wow, more money into the Lakers.
I live bet them down 20 last night.
I saw you tweet
and
that.
And I was thrilled. I put $6 on to win 66, which I was.
Well.
Yeah, but I got to tell you, it made it for an exciting night because it really felt like there were a couple plays where if the Nuggets didn't get a break here, they got a turnover and an alley-oop to Gordon. It was close. They were hanging on for dear life.
Here's the thing. I don't want to just say double-digit lead because those are not safe in the NBA, but Game 2, if somehow the Lakers find themselves down in a big hole again, 15, 20, 21 like they were last night, I don't know if they're coming back.
Oh, come on. It's the NBA. I think the Nuggets blow these kind of leads all the time.
You think Austin Reeves is going to shoot 5 for 7 from 3 again?
If he has no one on him, if he has also, when you're down 20, you become loose. You're like, oh, I got to hit this 3.
I'm sorry, it was 5 for 9.
I do think that the Nuggets seem like the kind of team that blows leads. And bench-wise, the Lakers' bench is significantly better. That's the other reason a lead isn't safe. You go Christian Brown, who, of course, Van Gundy complained about the spelling of his name.
Yeah.
They don't go very deep. And what the guy Jeff Green, who's been around since I was in high school, basically, he's been around forever. Yeah, they don't have any depth to match the Lakers. I think it's a very interesting series. I'd say not quite a toss-up. Denver's got a 1-0 edge, home court advantage. I think it's still so close.
The people the Lakers defenders and the people are saying, wow, the Lakers, like, they've got them right where they want them. It's like, no, they don't. They had to do everything in their power to come back last night, and they still lost the game. I don't think they're demoralized. It's not like they lost on a last-second buzzer beater or something like that where you're just like, drained. But I don't see how people left that game and thought, ha-ha, now the Lakers got him. I thought, no. Now the Nuggets got him. They absorbed the punch and still won the game. 855-2124-CBS, 855-212-4227.
I walked away and said they found the Joker stopper. Rui Hachimura is my man.
You love him. I mean,
I've always loved him.
I'm getting you his jersey for your birthday.
I just like when you have these big guys just rotate a lot of bodies in, and eventually someone's going to physically wear him down. I think Joker probably got tired because, I mean, he had so many points in the first half and assists. He was just ridiculous.
He was awesome. I do love the gamesmanship of the stadium, the floor, if you will, in Denver, to have the 5,280 right at the free throw line. So, like, your opponent, when they have to look down to get set for a free throw, is reminded constantly of the high altitude and how tired they should be.
That's good.
But, man, one other thing I thought last night, and this is only because we've been talking about Joel Embiid the last couple days because of the Sixers and how they no-showed in Game 7. I know Joker doesn't nearly play the defense that Joel Embiid does, but does Joker get down the floor like he looks like Tyreek Hill compared to Joel Embiid? He runs the floor. I know we call him the dad bod god, but like this dude is a gazelle for being 7 foot tall. He's running basket to basket. Again, he doesn't carry the defensive load that Joel Embiid does, but dude is like fast for a big guy.
I saw a tweet from our buddy Zach Gelb, who has a show on after us on CBS Sports Radio. He said something to the effect of, how can anyone find Joker's game boring? The passing is exciting. The finishing is not what I would call Vince Carter-like. It is
not everything can be, tomahawk dunk at the rim.
It's just a little bit. It's just crazy. It's kind of a set shot from 8 feet away. A lot of that, and the shot clock running down, and he'll back up, and he's just taller, and he shoots over. You have to admit, they are not the most. He's not a dunking machine or anything.
No, of course not. But that's okay. I like the contrast.
You mean, so you're saying boring compared to exciting?
I'm just saying, he doesn't quite look like the rest of the league.
It's good because you can rest your eyes when you're watching Joker because he's not going to do anything too dazzling. No, his passing is crazy.
Wait, here's a question. Did you find Dirk Nowitzki fun to watch?
No.
Oh, see?
No, guys, why would anyone tune in for Dirk Nowitzki? Mid-range
he was
game?
amazing.
Why would anyone tune in for any mid-range guy? That doesn't make any sense to me. There are certain players I would watch anywhere. I would watch Vince Carter. I would watch Allen Iverson. I would watch, obviously, Michael Jordan. I need a guy who can fly.
Wow, I'm so glad you would watch those guys.
Yeah.
Geez, then you're not watching a lot of NBA because they all retired 20 years ago.
I like guys like Harold Miner. There are a lot of guys I like in today's NBA. Zach LaVine, I'm a big fan of.
Yeah, and hasn't done a lot of winning, you'll notice.
He's okay. He'll get a solid 8 seed. Yeah,
Perloff loves a dunk down 20.
Yeah, I like entertaining players. Zion's my favorite because he's so unique and he just dunks on everyone's head.
I know, and I need to dust off the film to see Zion because I haven't seen him actually play in a game in so long.
These guys are more workmanlike, like Joker, Butler. I hate to say it, Anthony Davis is not super exciting, is he?
Well, the blocks are exciting. I mean, I don't know. Did you not think Hakeem was exciting? With the dream shake and all the moves around the basket. I mean, he wasn't a dunker necessarily.
Yeah, well, does Anthony Davis do a single thing that Hakeem did? Anthony Davis LeBron draws a double team and hits a 9-foot jump shot. What is Anthony Davis doing? Show me an Anthony Davis highlight reel. What's on there?
Well, it's patrolling the paint, and it's a lot of blocks. Listen, Anthony Davis, nice block on Joker last night. That was a highlight.
I don't know. It wasn't Michael Jordan blocking Patrick Ewing. It wasn't Dikembe Mutombo rejecting 6 shots in a row. It was okay.
Oh, my gosh, Dikembe Mutombo. And I'm saying I like block shots, and you're going to come at me with Mutombo. I don't know. Mutombo is awesome, but he wasn't Mr. Excitement on the offensive side.
So did you found Dirk Nowitzki an exciting player?
I loved watching Dirk. The fall-away threes with the knee up.
Oh, God. If you're not a Mavericks fan, I don't know. If you're a Mavericks fan, I get it. But an outside fan, I will give you one guy who didn't dunk a lot. Steve Nash was exciting because he was like a globetrotter.
Yeah, he was.
A little more fast-paced. I just don't like these mid-range shooter guys. It's not my style. Is that crazy?
Memo to the NBA, Perloff's board by Jokic.
I like guys like Steph Curry will shoot it from 50 or somebody who's in the dunk contest. Nobody in between.
855-212-4CBS. 855-212-4227. You're like, it's like baseball. You're like a home run or a walk guy, but just in the NBA.
Absolutely. I love the sluggers.
You're like, give me a half-court shot or a dunk, and never the two shall meet.
And who's the guy who's the opposite? Who's somebody who gets a lot of singles and doubles?
Like currently, nobody, because baseball doesn't reward anything like that.
Yeah, you told me to get excited about Trey Turner, and I refuse to do so.
I'm like, I can't help you if you don't like Trey Turner. 855-212-4CBS, 855-212-4227. See you guys on the phones. Going to get to you. Got a lot of hoops, got a lot of NFL on today's show as well. Coming up later in this hour, we'll turn our attention to college football, where Chip Patterson's going to join us. New rankings out. They ranked the top 70, I believe, top 70 college football coaches.
Wow.
And it was a shocking number one.
God, I have a guess of who I think it would be at number one, and if it's not this person, I'd like to hear him explain why.
Okay, we're going to get to that later on in this hour, but coming up next, the big loser last night from the NBA draft lottery. Get to that, get to your phone calls. A lot to do here on this Wednesday edition of the Maggie and Perloff Show. So glad to have you along for the ride with us. Get involved. 855-212-4CBS, 855-212-4227. If you want to watch the show, come on in. I'm wearing our new merch today, the Maggie and Perloff t-shirts, which have become such a hit, we got to put in another order. Like, they're flying out of the office.
Flying out of the office to our friends and family. I mean, everybody's asking me for them.
And I know we have none for friends and family.
You know what happened, though? Of course, we have a bunch of smalls left. Why do they make the same?
Perfect for me. This is my time to shine.
The larges were gone in like a day. That's what always happens with you. I go shopping, Maggie, and I always see, oh, I love that shirt. And then there's small, triple XL, and no larges or XLs.
2X small.
Yeah.
Small. Triple XL.
And then XS.
Yes.
Extra small. Thank you.
This is when you reveal the summer beach bod. 855-212-4227. YouTube.com/CBS Sports Radio. That's where you can watch the show. Come on in. Say hi to the Widows and the Purple Drinkers in the chat. We're back with more from the draft lottery last night in just moments.
2 minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back to the Maggie and Perloff Show. Of course, the NBA, as it always does, fixed the lottery last night and gave it to the San Antonio Spurs. Right, Maggie?
A little too cute, NBA. A little too much right on the nose. Where you're going to give the generational talent of Victor Wembanyama, although you and I both think he's got some high bust potential just because his body. But of course he was going to go to the Spurs. Now,
wait. I don't remember you saying that yesterday.
Okay, well, yesterday I was very confident in a certain team getting number one. The Charlotte Hornets will get the number one pick tonight. You heard it here first. Okay, I was damn close. They came in second, Perloff, when their odds said that they should have come in fourth.
Okay, well, explain to me.
I was on the trajectory. I was in the neighborhood.
So explain this, how you were close, how this fixed lottery works exactly. They said, you know what, we're worried about the Hornets to make sure when they sell the team, they're worth a lot. So we're going to give them the number 2 pick in a draft where the number 2 pick is close to kind of worthless.
Don't know that. This could be a Greg Oden and Kevin Durant thing. There's always that possibility where the number 2 pick becomes the more valuable pick. It's possible. It's very possible.
Oh, man. For me, this theory of yours would have only worked if the Hornets got number 1. Because number 2 is a place that nobody wants to be right now. Because you're going to have to take Alabama's Brandon Miller and all that baggage.
No, you could take Scoot Henderson. It wouldn't make a lot of sense for the Hornets because they already have LaMelo Ball. But that still is a possibility. I still think this is going to be a good draft for Charlotte. So I still think this draft somehow is going to help the Hornets. But listen, it was right there in front of us. I tried to make a case because of Michael Jordan and them selling the team and needing to get the valuation up that they were going to give it to Charlotte, but it was probably always going to Popovich. They love San Antonio.
Well, you sound crazy because you would have made a case for anybody. Of course it was going to be Houston. It's got to be Houston.
No, it was definitely not Houston.
Houston's the biggest city in that group of teams. Of course they were looking at Houston.
I don't think they care about city size as much anymore. I think there's a different kind of calculation that goes in.
I heard a lot of buzz. People wanted to be Houston.
Well, Houston is number 4 now, so they didn't even get the top 3, which is what the odds were that they would have gotten one of the top 3.
Do you know why? Because it's a randomly generated order, Maggie. That's why it worked out this way.
I'll never be convinced. 855-212-4CBS, 855-212-4227. Even if we don't know the full reason why they did this, it will reveal itself at some point.
Yes, because they hit a button. Whatever.
It's annoying to argue with me about this, I realize, because I can't be convinced otherwise. The frozen envelope, I think it happened. I hope it happened. And ever since then, they've never been able to get me back.
Why did they give the number one pick? First of all, the number one pick for Paolo Banchero, who turned out to be really good, but no one even knew he was going to be number one. So why'd they give that to Orlando? Why am I going down this rabbit hole with you? Why?
Down to the rabbit hole with me. 855-212-4CBS. Let's go to Dan is in Michigan. Not happy about what happened to his team. What's up, Dan? How are you?
Hey, Maggie Perloff. How you guys doing today?
We're awesome. How are you doing?
I think I'm struggling. I'm struggling, this morning, but this afternoon now. But I think you're on to something. I mean, I think it's a conspiracy in the fact that, he's a big Spurs guy, and they want him to be acclimated to the NBA, and we're better than the Spurs where his idols played. But, my big point is just the Pistons and, being a Michigan guy. We're always young. We're always rebuilding. These young guys get hurt. And I'm just sick of the tanking, and the tanking ain't working. I mean, we were a 14.5% number one to get the number one pick. And I get it. History tells us number one, it's hard to get the number one. But we need some veterans. And we need to stop tanking. We need to do just okay and build off that and get some veterans to help these young guys out and develop them and have a guy like that in the room to help these guys. So just kind of want to hear your thoughts. But, yeah, I mean, I think
Dan, they need a coach. Let's hire a coach too. Thank you. You got the to-do list is rather long for the Pistons, but 2 years ago you got the top pick in Cade Cunningham. They were not giving it to Detroit again. The NBA powers that be.
Yeah, I mean
the inner circle.
Detroit's kind of a funny team. They have a lot of weird players. I'm looking. So actually, Wiseman looked okay for them last year, right? He produced at some level. They have a lot of young players. Maybe come together. I don't feel bad if I'm Detroit. First of all, I think anything after one is a crapshoot in this year's draft. And every draft. The draft is not, am I crazy, or draft is not like when I was a kid? Like when I was a kid, I felt like if you got the 1, 2, 3, or 4 or 5 pick, you were stoked.
Well, that's because we watched, Alonzo Mourning play for 4 years at Georgetown. We kind of knew what he was going to be.
Or at least you get like a Porzingis or somebody. I was looking at
Porzingis, though, is really kind of up and down.
Look at the 2020 draft. I was looking at this recently because James Wiseman went number 2 in that one. Number 1, Anthony Edwards. He's a star.
Yep.
Great player. But then Wiseman, LaMelo Ball, kind of a star, always hurt. Patrick Williams to the Bulls, number 4, mystery. Isaac Okoro, number 5, to the Cavs, deep role player. Onyeka Okongwu to the Hawks, role player at best. Killian Hayes to the Pistons, role player. I mean,
well, he's a starter technically, but
actually, as you go down all these lists, like the last 5 drafts, a lot of these guys are not making starting lineups.
Well, it's that's why everyone got so excited about Wembanyama, because the LeBron Jameses and these
where
guys,
are those guys?
They don't. There's a reason they're generational.
I know. It feels like I think we were so hungry for Wembanyama because we haven't had a generational player. We had Zion, but everyone knew Zion was injury prone, and he's 6'4", 300 pounds. Yeah, it's been a while. Is this the biggest deal since LeBron?
I mean, that's the case they were making last night. And how about, Brian Windhorst with doing the yeoman's work for everybody. He goes over to France.
Yeah.
Is in Paris. Why did it look like they were shooting in an attic? Everyone was so cramped together. Why didn't they?
Well, he's very tall. It looks cramped when Wembanyama's legs are taking up the whole room.
But why? I get you want your family members and stuff also in the shot, but for the 70 seconds that Brian Windhorst took his butt all the way over to France, can he just get a one-on-one with Wembanyama? And the camera was all close to him. It was bizarre,
well,
man.
It's funny,
why not bring Wembanyama to the States? Just fly him over in a private jet so he's sitting there at the draft lottery.
You see what Windhorst is doing, though. I mean, this is a guy who made his career because he happened to be the beat reporter in Cleveland when LeBron got there.
It was high school.
Yeah.
The Akron St. Vincent St. Mary High School.
Was he covering high school at the time, and that's how he got on LeBron?
Yes.
So how did he get to the Cavs? He just followed LeBron?
Yeah, through the Akron Beacon Journal, I think. And credit to Windhorst. He's not just a coattails guy. He's become this incredible insider. Yeah. He got the opportunity, and he blew it out of the water. He nailed it.
Right, but now he's got his new LeBron. Now he's Victor's guy.
Do you think he speaks French already?
I don't know. I do think you could get somewhere. You get somewhere as a reporter by tying yourself to a superstar.
Guy. Yeah, but isn't everyone trying to do that? It's hard to get in there.
But I mean, that's why Wendy flying to France is next level. That's why that guy is going to have another 20-year run.
Our pal Ryan in Santa Barbara's on the line. Ryan!
Yo! Maggie and Perloff. You know, my ADD is kicking in because I'm going back, NFL, NBA. I had all these questions lined up, and now you guys are on so many different topics. But what you were just saying about that guy flying to Paris for a 2-minute interview is ridiculous. Couldn't you just Zoom?
Yes. Have we learned nothing since 2020? Just Zoom them in.
Question, Perloff. I know your boy Embiid took MVP, but is the Joker the best player in the NBA right now?
Yes.
And then what's going to go on with all these top premier coaches? Everyone's fired. I mean, is Doc going to Philly and then Bud's going to go here and there? Like, what's going on? What are these people doing?
Ryan, I love it.
What are these people doing?
I ask myself that question every day. Thank you for the phone call. What are you doing?
I agree. Joker is the best player in the NBA. I just want to go on the record with that. Did he say, is Doc going to Philly? Doc just left Philly.
Yeah, you know what he meant, though. Is Doc going to end up in Milwaukee, I think he meant. And is Bud going to come to Philly? Like, are they going to flip-flop? I speak fluent, Ryan.
Okay, I wasn't sure exactly.
No, I get it.
Wait, Milwaukee's not going to hire Doc Rivers, are they? I think they seem like a franchise that wants an up-and-comer like Quinn, this guy from Miami. Somebody who's a real X's and O's. Doc's a veteran coach, but I don't think anyone's going to confuse him with some sort of radical X's and O's guy.
No, I also think they're like, all right, this is important because Giannis can choose whether or not to sign an extension this summer. And if he doesn't, that means he's got 2 years left on his deal. And then here comes New York, here comes LA, here comes every team trying to bid for him and entice him to come to a bigger market or whatever. So this coach hire is it's pretty big. I don't think Doc Rivers would be the guy because now Doc is, unfortunately for him, synonymous with failures in the postseason and blowing leads and not getting it done. But to go with a super young guy could also be a big risk.
Yeah, but we've seen those guys have had a lot of success. I mean, Kerr won in his first year. Nick Nurse won in his first year. Ime Udoka almost won in his first year. That's why I think teams have to be attracted to these first-timers. Seems like Darvin Ham is doing an amazing job in his first year. So I think you go down the list. That's who I want for the Sixers. I do not want a guy like Budenholzer who's been around. I don't know why. Is there any excitement for a guy who's failed somewhere else? That's why I'm having trouble wrapping my head around this group of guys who's floating out there.
Well, it's tough because he is a championship-winning coach, and not long ago for Budenholzer. So it's like, is he a failed guy? He's a retread, that's for sure. But, he does have he's got some bona fides. He's got some credibility.
Absolutely. I see the Celtics who went from Udoka to Joe Mazzulla. I don't know. They just seem to play such smart basketball.
Oh, my God. A week ago, the Celtics fans wanted Joe Mazzulla basically, banished to Siberia.
Yeah, I mean, this year has not been ideal, but he makes adjustments that Doc Rivers does not make. There's just something missing.
Well, he might also have the second or third best player in the league in Tatum. I mean... Yeah,
but that wasn't what really just changed the series also. He figured out just the combination of bigs to go against Embiid caused a lot of problems.
Well, also Harden went full Harden.
Yeah. No,
and Tatum went full Tatum in a good way, and Harden went full Harden in a bad way.
We'll see. I mean, listen, this Celtics team, I think they have a great chance to go to the finals. If they go to the finals, then I think Joe Mazzulla is in good shape, right? You can't argue there.
Yeah, well, if they go to the finals.
And then they
might even be in good shape now. He might be in good shape, but the fans absolutely loathe him.
I mean, Boston fans. They're worse than Philly fans.
I don't want them on my bad side. Jeffrey Howell's in the chat, youtube.com/CBS Sports Radio. I want a video of Maggie taking the Ryan Wine Country tour. I feel like that's going to happen someday. I think we're on our paths are going to cross here with Ryan with the Wine Country tour.
Sure. Yeah, I mean...
He gives wine country tours. At some point, we're going to be out in Northern California. We got to make that happen.
Sports talk radio, wine country tours. I mean, they go hand in hand.
It's a tale as old as time.
Yeah. Hey, you guys want to go eat wings and go get beer at the sports bar? No, I'm going to go tasting in Napa Valley.
He'll show you where the rockets take off.
Exactly.
Wait, was it?
It was a rocket launch and a wine tour.
I thought he was going to talk about hot air balloons, and he's like secret military things going on around here.
It's like the other Area 51 that we didn't know about. I know.
It's 51B.
It's where after 2 bottles of wine, you're like, I don't know where I am.
Remember he said,
is that an alien?
Yeah, he was picking up some young women who got drunk. There was something weird going on in this wine tour. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Young women, and he took them to see the rocket launch, and we thought for a second we were going to have to edit that out of the podcast.
I had my finger over the dumb button.
Thank you, Carlos. It's that kind of professionalism that's going to get this show all the way to the top. 855-212-4CBS, 855-212-4227. I mentioned the podcast. Maggie Perloff Podcast. Download it wherever you get your podcasts. It's a good time if you ever miss the show. YouTube.com/CBS Sports Radio. We mentioned the Carson Wentz poster still lording over us, taunting us, all of that. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We get 1,000 new subscribers by the end of the NBA Finals. The Carson Wentz poster goes bye-bye on our live stream. We destroy it. If you could help us with that, we'd be forever grateful. Coming up, the top college football coaches ranked by CBS Sports. Chip Patterson is CBS Sports HQ college football analyst. He'll tell us how he arrived at a shocking number 1. We'll get to that after this CBS Sports Update with Rich Ackerman.
CBS Sports Radio. Sports Flash.
And it's brought to you by HelloFresh. Shake up dinner time with HelloFresh. With 40 weekly recipe options, there's always something new to try. Get 16 free meals plus free shipping with code SKATE16 at HelloFresh.com/SKATE16. The Heat and Celtics open the Eastern Conference Finals tonight in Boston. The Celtics are the defending conference champs and were the second best team in the East this year. Miami just made the postseason, winning the play-in game, and now on quite a roll. Joe Mazzulla was thrust into the head coaching duties in the preseason and now finds himself in a chess match with the experienced Eric Spoelstra.
Coached a lot of great players, does a great job throughout a series of finding small ways to adjust on both ends of the floor, and so we have to bring an open mind. We got to be ready to stay connected and do some different things, which I thought was good for us in Game 6 and 7 in Philly. We got to take that same open-mindedness, connectivity, physicality, into this series.
These two teams certainly no strangers to each other, meeting in this spot for the third time in 4 years. Baseball action this afternoon. Top of the second, no score between the Dodgers and the Twins. Bottom of the ninth, it's Pittsburgh trying to finish off Detroit, leading by a score of 6-0. And Cincinnati has gone in front of Colorado 1-0 top 2. I'm Rich Ackerman.
Hey, it's Amy Lawrence. Be sure to listen to CBS Sports Radio at home. Just ask Alexa to play CBS Sports Radio.
CBS Sports Radio.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 3 minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Five seconds remaining. Seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
It's time to Ask the Pros, where you can ask us a question. It's brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Simply check out the link, cbssportsradio.com/askthepros, or tweet your question at CBS Sports Radio using the hashtag AskThePros. Be listening later in the show when we might answer your question. Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get guaranteed low prices and excellent customer service from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Something Pavlovian happens when I hear that music. It's like...
Oh, I know. I just got so fired up.
I know, I did. So let's welcome in our guest today, Chip Patterson, of course, a CBS Sports HQ college football analyst. He's also the host of the Cover 3 podcast. We love it. Chip, thanks so much for joining the show today. How are you?
I'm doing well. Great to be back with you. Hope you've been doing well. And, hey, listen, I'm cool to talk college football in May. Just call me up. I'm ready to go.
We knew you would be. Chomping at the bit, actually. And so you guys did something cool at CBSSports.com, which is you ranked the top, 69 college football coaches. It was a panel that did it. And you were part of the panel, right?
Yeah, we got them. And it's just Power 5 coaches, which is something that's really kind of fun to discuss, because you almost have to remind fans that just to be on this list means you have one of the best jobs in all of college football. To be a sitting Power 5 head coach. For example, I think that Miami head coach Mario Cristobal, I've got him ranked around maybe 39 or so, and I think that Cristobal ended up around 36 or so. And I think that he is a perfectly fine, to this point in his career, based on his strengths, his weaknesses, the on-field results. He's like kind of the replacement level Power 5 head coach, which again is good. It means that he is a good coach, but that when you consider the recruiting success with some of the on-field disappointments, that those balance each other out, and that he is fine. And a fine Power 5 head coach is still a very successful coach. It's just that, in my opinion, and in some of our rankings, you're just going to find yourselves well outside the top 25.
I see what's happened here, Chip. You went right to Miami. That has to be the fan base you've heard from the most since these rankings came out. They must be the fan base that's complaining the most.
Yeah, I would say I'm still waiting. So 1 through 25 just dropped. Okay, so we're still waiting to sort of, to see like what's going to be trickling in terms of some of the real outrage. But we've always got like on the Cover 3 podcast, the episode we recorded this morning was one of the conversations was, where are you different? Where on your ballot did you find yourself really straying from consensus? Like, how about this? If we want to go ahead and throw out Chip to be some red meat for SEC fans, I think Lane Kiffin fits closer to the fine results than he does at number 14. And he's at number 14 in our rankings. I had Lane Kiffin at 28 because he's only finished in the AP Top 25 as a head coach twice. I guess that people really value those Conference USA Conference championships because it was only a 7-6 year at Tennessee. At USC, he got fired on the tarmac, really only one good year there. At Ole Miss, yes, he's been able to lead them to a New Year's Six bowl, but also they lost the last 5 games of the season last year. It's a real mixed bag for Lane Kiffin, who I like and I enjoy around college football. But when you're asking me to rank coaches, I got to look at something more than just me thinking that your Twitter presence is hilarious. Like Lane Kiffin is much more middle of the pack among his Power 5 peers than up at number 14, which is where the consensus rankings have him.
Yeah, if it's all about building a brand, Kiffin is like 1. But that's a different list for a different time.
Chip, what did you do with the offensive geniuses on here? Like the Sarkisians and the Heupels and the Hugh Freezes. It strikes me, I don't know what you value as a coach when you're looking at it. Is it the X's and O's, or do you have to balance everything, recruiting and also player development? Because there's certainly guys, I thought Sark was pretty high. I was happy to see that. He was about 30, I believe.
37.
37. Okay, so higher than I expected, because he's obviously a great coach of what he does, but you're ranking a lot more than that.
Yeah, so like if you're the offensive genius on the level of, Lincoln Riley, which means you also have conference championships, college football playoff appearances, Heisman Trophy winners. Like Lincoln Riley, to me, was a no-brainer top 8 pick. I had him at number 7. I know that he is somewhere similar on the consensus rankings, but like someone like a Hugh Freeze, a Gus Malzahn, a Steve Sarkisian, they all exist in that area where it is a bigger body of work that they are probably penalized for, where Josh Heupel I kind of see as a rising stock. Now, I had Josh Heupel at 21. That was ahead of Steve Sarkisian. That was ahead of Gus Malzahn, ahead of Hugh Freeze, ahead of Lane Kiffin. Like, I just found myself having a lot of these known quantities occupying sort of the middle range, where there were some ones that were on the rise. Like, how about this? Jeff Brom. I think that Jeff Brom getting Purdue to a Big Ten championship game is a really, really impressive accomplishment. He got the signature win against Ohio State. He had Purdue jumping up and being feisty against some of the best teams in the conference. At Western Kentucky, he was successful. And while Louisville immediately in 2023, I'm not exactly sure about this being the year that they make a run in the ACC, I think he will be successful. And so that's where I take somebody like a Jeff Brom. I take somebody like a Josh Heupel. I take somebody like Florida State coach Mike Norvell, who did get Memphis to the New Year's Six, but obviously at Florida State it has been more falling short of expectations than exceeding them. But that, again, is like a Heupel. I'm buying a little bit of the stock. I'm moving you ahead of someone who I think is a little bit more in quantity, a little longer. It's my process, the way that I'm steering out my rankings on my own personal ballot.
Chip Patterson is our guest, CBS Sports HQ college football analyst, host of the Cover 3 pod. We are talking about the CBS Sports list of the top 69 Power 5 college football coaches that were ranked. All right, the real reason we wanted to have you on, right? We can talk about Braum and all these other guys. No. Number one on the list. If Kirby Smart can't get one now, Chip, I mean, he'll never get it. You guys put Saban instead of Kirby Smart. I feel like Kirby deserved it as the back-to-back national champions.
The argument would be if you're going to do it every single year, then Kirby, with everything that he has, with the recruiting success. I mean, we just saw him get 5-star quarterback Dylan Raiola.
Yep.
Like, good gravy. Georgia's just been able to win these national championships with the Stetson Bennett out there. Now they're getting what is probably the, without debate, top quarterback in the 2024 cycle. I mean, this is, buckle up. We are in for a Georgia dynasty. And that's where I think that if I am going to still reward track records and look back at all these different things, Nick Saban with the rings, Nick Saban still gets the one for me, but Kirby Smart does have a growing list of accomplishments, and who's got a longer runway, right? We know that Kirby Smart's in this for the long haul, and that Alabama East is certainly up and running.
So, by the way, we were surprised yesterday. Georgia's going for a three-peat this year. Chip, do you know the last team to three-peat?
So it's not modern era. It's like Minnesota in the Minnesota championship years, which, I mean, much love to the Golden Gophers, but I think that was a different era in college football.
Yeah, that was
in the world.
the 30s, pre-air raid. Let's put it that way. Air raid meant something completely different back then.
No, it did.
That's not very funny. Okay, we were also a little surprised. Clemson's Dabo Swinney at number 3. When is he going to drop? Because it hasn't quite been there the last couple of years.
Right, but you're still winning championships. And I did find myself pointing to trophy cases and hardware. I mentioned the AP Top 25 finishes. I like to be able to put together your resume. He's won 7 ACC championships over an 8-year span. He got Clemson to 6 straight college football playoffs. They made the national championship game in 4 of those. They won 2 of those. In the playoff era, it is very much without a doubt that his ability to consistently get Clemson competing for a championship at the end of the season over the last 10 years or so, that is still strong. Now, listen, you are not off in trying to forecast this. And my colleague Bud Elliott said that he docked Dabo Swinney because he believes that Dabo Swinney is not doing a good job of adapting to the transfer portal era, and that he would like to see Clemson be more willing to dip into the transfer portal to improve a roster. He has not been, prior to the Garrett Riley hire, as impressed with some of the staffing decisions that Dabo Swinney has made as he's lost assistant coaches to head coaching jobs. But the way that I fill out the ballot, and clearly the way that some others do, just look at what he has won with that Clemson program, and it's very, very difficult to find other coaches who can come anywhere close to that resume.
Chip, we got less than a minute left here, but Deion Sanders, who is the talk of college football, of course, is at 55, so nestled right between Cincinnati and Vandy. Does he have to coach like a top 10 coach in order for Colorado to really have a great season, or are you looking at this team and thinking it's going to be a huge adjustment?
I think Deion Sanders is going to be well suited to be a leader for this team, but I am fascinated to see what happens when Deion Sanders and also this team face adversity, because we're dealing with 50 to 60 new players. When you look at the incoming freshmen, the transfer class, it is going to be a group that has not spent a lot of time together, and the roster itself is still going to be a group that is going to be, you throw it in the simulation model, it comes out 4-8. So when you're 4-8 and you're losing twice as much as you're winning, that means it's going to lead to some really difficult times, some tough weeks, some tough post-game press conferences, some tough post-game availabilities. When he was at Jackson State, he had a talent advantage. He had a talent advantage against pretty much everybody else in the conference. And I do think that going 26-5 or 27-5 as that program's head coach is a good reflection on what he can do at Colorado. I just think that the great experiment of this all, the transient nature of this all, what's going to happen when all these new guys who haven't spent much time together start to face some real adversity, that's where his leadership is going to be huge to be able to guide the Buffs through the season.
Chip Patterson, CBS Sports HQ college football analyst, the Cover 3 podcast. Chip, thanks so much. Love talking college football with you in May or any other month out of the year. We'll catch up soon.
Y'all be well.
Okay, thank you. You want to weigh in on Deion Sanders? You want to weigh in on the CBS Sports ranked college coaches? Saban, #1 still over Kirby Smart, 855-212-4CBS. Also, we got the Lakers down 1-0 to the Nuggets. How much trouble are they in? You feeling confident about the Lakers? We'll discuss next. Don't move. More Maggie and Perloff, CBS Sports Radio.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. 45 seconds remaining. Seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
If you're just joining us, Perloff is putting the finishing touches on 16 ounces of peanut butter. The man is a legend. Got the closer spoon, and Andrew Perloff, like Usain Bolt, cruising to the finish line. Last bite.
I flew way too close to the sun. Now I'm about to throw up all over the sun. Something feels wrong.
Yeah. Oh. Something looks wrong.
I don't feel well.
Ooh.
I'm glad I got through the first jar. That second jar was the biggest mistake of my entire life.
Yeah.
I was doing so good.
It took years off your life. Thank you, Ack, for correcting his grammar.
Ack, honestly, I can choose which way to throw up. I'm definitely going to make it. Stop talking.
They are Maggie and Perloff on CBS Sports Radio.
Welcome into the show. Maggie and Perloff hanging with you on this Wednesday. Tough night for the Lakers. I know they made it look a little bit better when they cut the lead to 3 after they had been down by 21. But the Nuggets absorbed that punch, Perloff. They still won the game.
I think it's the Lakers who absorbed the punch. The Nuggets came out with everything. I mean, they looked like they were going to win that game by 60 points, and they didn't. They let it go right down to the wire.
Yeah, but ultimately, it took a lot of getting back in, and I think the Nuggets have more pieces to make more adjustments. Like, okay, Anthony Davis playing against Jokic defensively. Saw what happened. Jokic was unbelievable in the first half, and continue that in the second half. They put Rui Hachimura on Jokic. It got better because it was kind of Rui and Anthony Davis sort of together a bit. It did get better.
He didn't score at all.
Can they keep that up?
Sure.
I don't know.
Well, he's got
Hachimura's going to get in foul trouble, and then I worry about Davis getting in foul trouble.
I mean, they were throwing things up just throwing up moon balls, and they were landing. There was a lot of luck in some of that stuff last night.
Well, both teams were making shots. That's what made the game great,
I mean, but like that gigantic that shot that Jokic hit with the shot clock running down, he's not going to hit that. He was 3 for 3 from 3-point range. He's not a 100% three-point shooter. He's a 38% three-point shooter. He's not going to hit everything, and all those other guys. KCP cannot keep this clip up. I don't know why all of a sudden he's the best player in the NBA.
Well, I would say on the other side, you're not getting are you getting for sure a good Anthony Davis game in game 2? He's so up and down and disappears at times. And are you getting like this efficient of an Austin Reeves game in game 2?
Yeah.
Those guys played out of their minds also.
Well, the score was 132 to 126. They don't need 126 points. Denver's not going to score that much. That's just, it's
They're the
impossible.
number 1 offensive team in the NBA.
But they don't average. What do you think they average? Anywhere near 132 points, and they're going against the best defensive team as well.
That's true.
So it's got to come down a little bit. Here's my question for you.
Okay, go ahead.
Watching last night and following on social media, did it feel like in a weird way last night was a coming out party for Jokic? I know he's a two-time MVP. I know he's a two-time MVP, but I felt like last night was the first night. A lot of people, I was like, whoa, Jokic is so good.
Well, first of all, he was amazing last night. I mean, Jokic was 34 points, but he also had 21 rebounds. He also was 12 for 17 from the floor. And you mentioned 3 for 3 from 3. He didn't miss. How many assists? 14. Just nuts.
I mean,
here's why. I know why.
I think I know why, but go ahead.
LeBron brings out the casuals. People, and I'm not saying casuals in a pejorative way, people who casually like the NBA, which is not a crime. If you don't want to watch 82 games a year, I get it. They load manage. It's not a great product sometimes during the regular season. But in the postseason, in the Western Conference Finals, you want to tune in to see the Lakers and see LeBron. And maybe this is, people are getting reminded and reacquainted with Joker.
Okay. I think this is the first time he's ever played anywhere near this stage because they played the Lakers in the bubble.
Yeah, but the ratings were terrible.
The ratings were terrible. Yeah, I don't know that. I'm not sure the Lakers and LeBron are that huge a draw right now. Were they much bigger than the Warriors? I'm not sure.
I think they will always be. The Lakers have a much larger fan base than the Warriors in terms. Like the Lakers have a global fan base.
Yeah, I do think there's a little bit of fatigue with this. I don't think this team is like. Oh, I don't think it's Jordan's last year. I don't get
with
this.
LeBron?
Like LeBron right now? Yeah, for some reason, I don't see that much excitement. I'd be curious. Are the ratings through the roof for these Lakers?
I think it'd be the Lakers more than anyone. There was an old David Stern quote. The old commissioner of the NBA would say he wished every year the Lakers could play the Lakers in the finals. I memean, he's acknowledged, and I doubt we're that far off from it. The Lakers are a real household brand.
Yeah. Anyway, I just think this is the first time we've really seen him because the bubble didn't count and they've never done anything else. So I think a lot of people had not watched him. I think by the way, I think there's been a couple monster ratings games. I think Golden State Sacramento Game 7 and the Sixers Celtics was a monster too.
On Mother's Day.
Sunday at 3. The Lakers games I think are a little bit late to be in those rating windows, but we'll see. I don't know.
Thankfully, 8:30 for us on the East Coast who also happen to be curmudgeonly about it. Okay, let's hear from LeBron James because he's already looking ahead on what they have to do for Game 2.
They're 1-0, and we have to come back with desperation going into Game 2. We have to play better. We have to rebound better. I thought we did a good job of not turning the ball over. That's one thing we've been very conscious about in the postseason. But we've been better in transition tonight. We wasn't that great in the first half. We cleaned it up in the second half. So we need to be better at all facets of the game.
Playing this like real up and down where both teams were really trying to push and like push the pace, especially in the second half. I mean, teams were making shots. It was lightning speed. It was fun. I mean, that fourth quarter especially, guys couldn't, when the Lakers really got themselves back into it with a 9-0 run, super exciting game. But is that the kind of pace that you think the Lakers want to play with from here on out?
I actually watched. I thought the Nuggets were playing too fast for themselves.
They were playing fast, yeah.
Especially in the first half. I don't know. Is this team good enough to play at that pace? Because the Nuggets, I think that helps the Lakers. I don't think it kills them because the Nuggets will get out of control. How many turnovers did Joker have in the second half? At least 3 that I saw. I thought the Nuggets started moving too fast and getting sloppy, and I thought they also got a little nervous in the second half. Is that fair to say?
Well, that's why I think that the Lakers are in trouble because I think that the Nuggets did have a little bit of that, like, oh boy, this is it. This is what the hype's about. Here comes LeBron. I mean, I know they played already once in the Western Conference Finals 2 years ago, but like, okay, here they come. And then they look up 2.5 or 3 minutes later, they're shooting free throws to ice the game. It's like, all right, well, we did it. We did it. I think the Nuggets have tons of confidence going into Game 2. And I think the Lakers will tell themselves, all right, we can go down 0-2 and we'll just get it back at our place. Like, I wonder what kind of desperation. LeBron said they are going to be desperate in Game 2, but I wonder about that.
Yeah, I think the Nuggets cannot shoot like this. And this is going to be a much different game.
Wait, here's a question for you. So let's just do a what-if scenario for Game 2.
Yeah.
What if the Lakers are down 21 in the third quarter in Game 2? Do you do the LeBron load management thing? Well, and just say, not our night, save them for L.A.?
I was thinking about that last night. What was the point where they're going to pull him? And they were down 21. And I think they were down 21 in the third quarter, and they did not pull him. But even with that down 21, it never felt – it didn't feel out of touch for much of the second half. Felt like it started getting closer and closer. So – I'd be surprised. I think you have to think you can come back on this team. Even in the third quarter, I don't think they pull LeBron. LeBron just gets a little he can load manage within a game.
Oh, no. He
just hangs out at the 3-point line.
Also, he decides when he comes in and out of the game. So he'll just walk to the sideline.
Yeah. And also,
which I would expect at this point.
Who's he covering? He's got somebody who's not going to score a lot, right? He's not chasing Murray, and he doesn't have Joker. So
he did a little bit with Murray last. I mean, Murray was excellent. What do you have? 30 points.
Yeah,
that's not going to work.
When Murray saw Schroeder, oh my gosh, his eyes got huge. It just took him to the hole. Yeah, it's interesting. That's why I think there's so many advantages right here with the Lakers. I think Davis is going to keep this up. I don't think the Nuggets are a great defensive team. I think LeBron has an advantage on everybody on that roster. I think this is going to be a 7-game series.
855-212-4CBS, 855-212-4227. If it goes to a Game 7, though, in Denver, I think the Nuggets would win it. I don't know if the Lakers can win a Game 7 in Denver.
They just pass out at that point. They'd be so tired.
Wouldn't everybody?
Yeah.
I mean, they make playing in Denver like playing on the moon. You know,
Well,
it's
you know
like
what?
there's no oxygen. There's zero gravity.
Lakers just got stronger last night, and the Nuggets got weaker. So I don't know that it hurt them last night.
Sorry, I was just thinking about something about the moon because I said that.
Yeah.
There is a company now that is booking weddings in space. So if you want to really tick off your guests, you can have your wedding in space. It's called Space Perspective. It's offering couples an unforgettable way to say I do.
By when? Like what year?
Stand by. But you, I guess, I don't think you can actually have any guests. So maybe this is good. Late 2024. No. I'm sorry. You can have guests, but guess how much it costs per guest? Per guest.
$300,000.
$125,000 per person.
I'm good.
That's a tough list. Like, yeah, we're gonna have to.
Who makes the cut?
This coworker is gone.
Yeah. Coworker. I mean, how many family members get in at $125,000 a pop?
Yeah. So wait.
It's like our wedding was very small. Even the groom wasn't there. It was just the bride, just her. Groom couldn't afford it.
I'm not totally up on space travel these days, but is this happening? You can go up and get married in space?
Apparently.
Like really in space or sort of half in space?
Oh, are you talking about like what Michael Strahan did?
Wait, so
or not Strahan. Who was it? The guy from Star Trek.
Shatner
Went to space.
He did?
Wait, okay. I think Michael Strahan also went to space.
I remember something like that.
Yeah, was it like Michael Strahan and Shatner space, or is it like astronaut space? I
don't think that they're capable of having random people up in space right now, are they? You said like, yeah, of course they are.
No, it's flying to space, it says. It's propelled by renewable hydrogen. No rockets, none of the associated carbon footprint, so that's probably good. Yeah. It's balloons. Carry capsules. The couple sit in it. They take in the beauty of Earth from above. It's a space balloon. A space balloon wedding.
How high so you're basically in a plane?
I think you're in a fancy plane. You could also get married on a charter flight from Pittsburgh to Cincinnati. It costs you a little less than $125,000 a seat.
I mean, okay, we gotta in the break. We have to figure out how high this thing really is.
I think it's pretty. I mean, here's the website. Doesn't that look like space? Does that not look like space?
So, how many have they had up there so far?
Well, it's TBD.
That's what I'm saying. This sounds like
look how cool it looks. Looks like the future. I'm sorry for people on radio. It's like it looks like a balloon, a big golf ball. That's
right. But you're speaking as if this actually exists.
Well, I'm telling you, they're booking weddings right now.
Okay.
Get on board.
Yeah.
Where do you honeymoon if you get married in space? It's like, we're going to honeymoon. Where?
Just send them to Mars.
Yeah, 20,000 leagues under the sea. Go up, go down.
End of this year? End of 2024?
End of 2024.
Is there any kind of bet you would make with me that this is not going to happen by the end of 2024?
We do have a couple long-term bets going, so this could add in. With the will Matt Ryan make it to the Hall of Fame? That is a long-term Maggie and Perloff.
I think it is more likely that Elon Musk gets to Mars and this thing happens, and neither of those things
Elon
are
Musk
happening.
To Mars tomorrow?
Trust me, he's trying, but this is not happening. This is one of those tech billionaires dreaming about space, and it's never going to work.
Well, here's the other part, too. And because I was a bride, I'm just sort of thinking about this through my eyes. So you splash down once you come down from space. So now you're going to get out into the water and, like, mess up your dress and your hair and all that stuff? No go. Boo.
Good thing this is never happening.
Also, my ears pop when I go up, like, to 30,000, like, cruising altitude. My head would probably explode if I went to space.
Is anybody really asking for this? You can get married on the ground for a fraction of the cost.
You know, Carlos, everyone's got to be different. Can't just have, can't have something easy and nice for your guests. Everyone's got to be weird.
Yeah, I got married in Long Island. I feel like such a bum since I didn't go to space.
No, seriously.
How dare you? What, a wedding hall in Long Island?
Yeah, our traditional venue. Who am I?
Was there a priest there? I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, to put down...
It could have been an astronaut.
You could have put down money on a space trip that's never going to happen. It's pure fiction on some...
This is perfect for the person who has proposed but is suddenly getting cold feet and doesn't ever want to get married. It's like, hey, how about space? That should push this off for a decade or so.
Nothing says forever like the eternal void of space.
Push someone out? That'd be tough. 855-212-4CBS. 855-212-4227. Like, what happened? Where's Bill? Oh, funny story. We were getting married in space, and he tried to go to the bathroom, and he exit launched into the void. Yada, yada, yada. I'm single again. 855-212-4CBS. Getting married in space. Okay, coming up, Lakers reporter for The Athletic, Jovan, Buha is going to join us in just a moment. Are the Lakers in trouble, or do they have the Nuggets right where they want them? Down 0-1. Maggie and Perloff, you want to watch the show, you can do it. YouTube.com/CBS Sports Radio is where to find us. Of course, we are on the absolutely free and crystal clear Odyssey app that you can download. We're also on SiriusXM channel 158 and our amazing CBS Sports Radio affiliates. Don't move. More Lakers talk after this.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining.
Pump Up the Jam?
Who put this in the playlist?
So I did in my own little playlist. We went 80s yesterday. I decided to surprise both of you and do 90s today.
CNC Music Factory kind of stuff?
Well, CNC Music Factory was the last song we bumped back. This is Techno Jam, Pump Up the Jam.
Carlos, was that your jam back in the day? Did you go to the clubs?
This was my mom's thing. Like, my mom raised me on, 90s dance music. We're from Chicago. It's like a deep house scene out there. So I noticed stuff like the back of my hand.
Man, So I grew up in the wedding business, like the catering business.
Yeah.
So I've been to tons of weddings and bar mitzvahs and birthday parties. And I mean, my mom is an incredible caterer. I've been to so many parties. I've probably heard this song 10,000 times.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I've heard them all. A lot of Pump Up the Jam, though.
Yeah. Well, you know what the song you probably heard the most? Celebrate Good Times.
Yeah.
Come on.
A little Celebration, Cool in the Gang. A lot of We Are Family at a lot of these things. Every time It's Raining Men came on, it got like a little sad. It'd always be like, all right, ladies on the dance floor. Whenever they say ladies on the dance floor, really think twice.
Thoughts of when a drunken groomsman gets a hold of the mic and thinks either he can sing or tell jokes randomly. Is that ever?
We've had the power go out.
That was me.
Oh, the power go out.
Power go out. Someone pull the fire alarm. We've been through it all.
I'll never remember the day. I'll never forget the day that my friend ruined Bruce Jacobson's wedding. Of course, Bruce. Yeah. You know.
Oh, Bruce! Wait a minute. We haven't talked about Bruce in a while.
Right,
Refresh.
Bruce.
Yeah.
Bruce
is a deep cut. Refresh if there's some new audience who might not know Bruce.
Who has a famous story on the show with the fake eye and the pirate's booty, which I feel uncomfortable telling it again.
Wait, I'll do the Cliff Notes. Perloff's friend Bruce. I've taken it now. It's my story.
Can we change the name?
Perloff's. No, it's fine. We don't give his last name unless you just did.
Did I?
I think you might have. We're going to erase that from the podcast.
Checking the tape.
Bruce is Perloff's friend who had a glass eye.
Yes.
And lost it once mid-coitus.
Yes. That's fact.
Carlos's jaw is on the floor.
Well, he quickly found it. It may have bounced.
Jeez. He got it back, though. Bruce is a legend on this show and in real life.
All I know is...
Okay, what happened at Bruce's wedding?
So Bruce got married in New Jersey, near Rutgers.
Yeah, Piscataway.
It was... So me and a few friends were like, you know what? Let's party in Atlantic City area.
Oh, smart.
For a while, and then we'll make our way up there to Rutgers.
So you pregame for Bruce's wedding?
We were basically...
in Atlantic City?
We were on a 48-hour bender. And we showed up at Bruce's wedding, and we were late. We walked in the middle of the ceremony. He was about to sort of step on the glass, Jewish wedding style.
Yeah.
And then
the glass, yeah.
I just remember I was getting through the ceremony. It was fun and whatever. And I looked over. I'm like, how's my friend doing? I wonder if he's even still alive. Like, he was in rough shape. And then all of a sudden, someone taps the mic, says, "Is this thing working?"
Oh, no.
And I think he basically did Ferris Bueller sang Danke Shane, but a drunken version of Danke Shane or something. Some song or Sinatra, something he shouldn't have been singing, decided to take over from the band and sing. Yeah, we almost got kicked out of that wedding.
This sounds like The Hangover when they're getting the tuxes delivered, like while they're on the highway on the way to the wedding.
It was bad. It was really bad. Yeah, that's a great analogy. You know, you remember back in the day when weddings used to be a lot more adventurous?
Yeah, not so much anymore.
But I'm past the wedding. All my friends got married, and now I'm on the second wedding.
Yes, second weddings are always a little more toned down.
But remember when you were single and stuff, weddings were always an exciting opportunity to meet people.
Yep. Open bar, dude.
Get hammered, dance really badly. Yeah, that was a good time.
Oh, my gosh. The amount of, my own wedding, one person split their pants because they were going so hard on the dance floor. And someone else ripped open their shirt like they were the Hulk, you know? And it's like, and these weren't even people who were in my inner circle. They were just like the husbands of friends and stuff. It's people who really needed a night out.
At least you can remember your wedding.
Oh, really?
I know I was rapping for like the last 2 hours. I have no idea what happened.
You were told you were rapping for the last 2 hours.
No, I saw like videos and I'm like, that's me?
Yes, getting blackout drunk is probably not a good idea on the most photographed and videotaped day of your life.
Yeah, it was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon at that.
So you start at 9 a.m., Carlos.
Not to pressure you, Stu, but when you get married soon. Is your mic?
Am I getting married soon?
No, I said when you get married soon.
Stu's gone.
When you get married soon.
Oh, boy.
There's one person here who's not married, Stu.
Yeah, that's me. I'm the one.
Now you can get married in space. You're good.
Oh, great. I'm sure she would love a space wedding.
100,000 feet in the air.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
Are you more panicked about us asking about when you're going to propose?
Yes.
Or the Lakers?
Yeah, the first one. More so than the Lakers. The Lakers got this. The proposal question always comes to me.
Well, the Lakers can blow it. You can't.
That's also true.
Well, you got this, Stu.
Thanks, guys.
We could already tell you're nervous about this. Oh, no, it doesn't seem nothing's
about
imminent.
The proposal or the
we're not
Lakers?
pressuring you.
We're not saying no. There's no
we
proposal.
just really want to go to a wedding soon. No,
How long you been? I'm sorry, I have to ask. How long you been with your current girlfriend?
Year and a half.
You're good. You got time.
That's what I'm saying. Got time. She's so young. She's like 4 years younger than me too.
Oh, beautiful. Stu. Smart.
I don't know.
You're good, dude.
Perloff's skeptical.
I don't know.
I could tell.
I could tell by the way he answered that the pressure has already started.
I just get asked by not by her or her family, but other people.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people around the office or friends.
It's because people don't know what to say.
That's true.
There's a couple really personal questions that people ask that they definitely shouldn't ask, but they do. One is like, so when you getting married? It's like, that's pretty personal. I don't know. People do that. They don't realize it.
Oh, yeah. What? Okay. What's the other one? I want to hear the other one.
When are you having kids? So it's like as soon as you get through the stress of getting married and all those questions,
then the kids' questions.
You get maybe 6 months before people start asking you when you're having kids. So just get ready.
My mother-in-law's been asking me for like 3 years.
Oh, yeah. 3 years, dude. You're lucky. Yeah.
Wow, this is fun.
You know this trajectory.
Yeah, no. I think I followed Sue's relationship. I also know your best friend is in the office as well, and
that's right.
Very single, and I love the two of you together. Cracks me up.
Cracks me up. Extremely single, ladies.
Is he? I assume is he still single?
He is single. Yes.
Yeah. To hear the two of you talking,
he's a good dude too. He's a catch.
Yeah, I love hearing you guys talk about your dating life. You have to understand, I have to live vicariously through younger single people in the office.
Yeah.
Because I've been married for 12 years.
Yeah, you're out of the game.
I'm out of the game, and I barely.
You wouldn't even recognize the game.
Well, now the game is all on your phones. I was at the very tail end of you might meet somebody at a bar.
Yes, I caught the last whisper of that.
Yeah, I think people are worse off not having to have a rap in a bar.
I'm so with you.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I met my husband at a bar, so I obviously
there you go.
We're watching a Mets game, but
that's lame, but okay.
Listen, it was April; they were still in it. Yeah, never did the online dating thing, and so missed like a whole scene. But listen, that's just what it is now. You can't say it's better or worse. It's just how it is.
Carlos, wait, how about you? If you don't mind us asking.
That if I enjoyed this, what did you meet
your wife online?
No, I met her at a Target.
Look at you.
There you go. There you go. So great deals and great people.
What were you buying? What aisle were you in?
No, so I don't know if this is a story I should be telling her. She might kill me. Well, she's in Puerto Rico, so she's not listening. We both worked at Target.
Oh, okay. So it's workplace romance.
Yeah, exactly. She had just started, and I was on my way out, so it worked out perfectly. We started dating like the day after I quit.
Smart. There you go.
Yeah, but you don't want to date a coworker.
No. In fact, it was a subordinate, technically. Like, I was her manager.
Yeah, you'd have to report that, all that. It's a pain in the butt. Yeah, I've never dated a coworker. Ever.
So you were at Sports Illustrated for a while. You were single, right?
No. I dated my husband for a long time before we got married.
Oh, so I met you originally at Sports Illustrated in like the early 2010s.
Yeah, we were already dating.
Oh, you were already dating your husband? Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah.
I was already married.
I know.
Yeah, I mean,
I met your wife when we worked together. She's awesome. But I never have dated a coworker.
Yeah,
never dated in the office.
Wow. Yeah, I wish
you're not missing anything.
I feel like
I had some
I feel like I should get a pat on the back or something.
Yeah, I had some bad situations.
Everyone gets themselves in a jam.
It's not the dating part that's bad.
It's the breakup.
It's the breakup and then seeing them the next day.
Oh, by the water cooler, or then people know, or
no, yeah, it's all bad. It's really bad.
Everybody knows you're breaking up before you do. Like the transition is never easy to get out of those office place romances.
I found that after I broke up with someone, the best thing was to never see them again.
I am also with you on that. Some people stay friends with all of their exes. I know people like that, which is cool. Still be friends with everyone. You had something special.
They're not human.
I am just like, you never existed. Poof. Goodbye. Yeah.
So, okay. How about Facebook friends? Even that?
No. Not keeping tabs. Just nope.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it.
Also, I'm not curious about that. I don't actually care.
I'll get out of it. Now I don't follow. I'm dying to know. I'm dying to know what all my exes are doing.
Do you follow them on Facebook?
Well, I think I'm Facebook friends with one or two. Yeah. Actually, no, I actually do get along well with my exes.
Okay, so that's a good thing. Just not the ones from The Office.
No, but actually, it was in your 20s in the office. We all moved on to 10 different jobs since then. I barely even remember them.
Listen, we work with married couples in the office. Like, that's always fun. When people are married in the office, I like it. I like being friends with the married people in the office. That's cool. But it's the dating, because everyone's like, when are they going to break up? Then we got to choose sides. I got to, I can't go to the 10th floor anymore because so-and-so's there. When
I was at Dan Patrick's show, it was a small office. There were 12 of us.
Yeah.
There were a lot of single guys, but there wasn't a lot of opportunities for inter-office romance since there was 12 men.
Yeah. I mean, unless that's your thing.
Then I came to this office, and actually, it's even less closer to anyone dating.
No,
I look out in the newsroom, and it is this portion of the office, the newsroom, the sports radio side.
Yeah.
Is you're kind of an outlier here, Maggie.
I've realized that for many years working here.
Sorry, we're not supposed to talk about that. Should I get back to Stu getting married?
Stu, when? When will it happen? No. 855-2124. Stu getting married is going to be the next, and the 2-2.
But the best setup story ever.
Well, Ackerman's got it. He puts everybody to shame.
Because if you get Regis Philbin involved, then forget it. That is the best work setup story of all time.
Yeah, I didn't want that.
Regis was very involved in your life.
Yeah, I miss him dearly.
Yeah, he's a good guy. 855-212-4CBS, 855-212-4227. John is in North Carolina, thinks he can top Carlos's story of meeting his wife at Target. John, what do you have?
No, I'm just saying there's something about a Target. So my son used to be a manager at Target, and my daughter-in-law was in human resources, and they started dating when they both worked for Target.
Beautiful.
So they couldn't tell anybody they were dating, and he wouldn't introduce us. We just knew her as HR. That's what we called her.
And her name was Haley Reese. No, that's perfect.
Her name is Brooklyn, and I have 2 beautiful grandchildren because of them meeting. So yeah, they've been married for 6 years, but that's where they met. They both met working for Target. So there's something about Target.
Yeah, this is just where the love, the sparks happen at Target. John, thank you for the call, and congrats on the grandkids and everything, and glad they're happily married. I mean, Target makes everyone feel good. Yeah. So I get it. Everyone's happy there.
I went last weekend to Target because we were there's a mall in Brooklyn that has a Target, and we were at another store, and my daughter and I say, well, let's just run to Target. We're not going to buy anything.
Lie.
We're not going to buy anything.
And we laughed, and we laughed.
2 seconds in, I'm like, do you see how cheap these Mother's Day things are? There's no way we cannot purchase these. And $85 later and 3 bags full of stuff, we were done.
You said, you told me, you're like, man, I just went to Target and I dropped $85. I'm like, you got out easy.
Well, and we plan to drop $0.
Yeah. I cannot get out of there without like $150.
Yeah, I hear you.
It's every time.
You guys are getting off lucky. People are walking in there and coming out with a spouse.
Honestly, I would believe it. You can find anything at Target.
Yeah.
Why not your spouse?
I'm talking about expensive. Then
millions of dollars of debt.
Yeah, especially if you get a space wedding, then you're $250 in the hole already. $250K, that is.
Yeah, $125K a seat for a space wedding. And I think you get like an hour. It's not that much.
No. I mean, then you have to get everything from Target if you're going to do that to afford the space
including the adult diapers, which you're going to need when you hit the atmosphere. 855-212-4CBS, 855-212-4227. I'm glad you guys found that funny because I was like, no, I really would need that. It'd get messy. Okay. Yeah. What was I doing? The Warriors. They're in trouble. Steve Kerr admitting what we all knew was true. We'll get to that in just a minute. Later on in the show, Jovan Buha, who covers the Lakers for The Athletic. Okay, he's going to join us now top of the hour. Practice was running late in Denver, so he's got to do his job first. How dare he? And then he's going to come on the show with us top of the hour. So we got a lot to do. Don't move. More Maggie and Perloff after this CBS Sports Update with Rich Ackerman.
CBS Sports Flash.
Well, Denver struck first in the West last night. Tonight, the Eastern Conference Finals begin in Boston with the Celtics meeting the Heat for the third time in the last 4 years, and veteran Kyle Lowry knows what to expect.
I think we just got to make sure that we understand what they are and what they're going to do. They're a three-point shooting team, but they also are a really aggressive team. So we got to understand, they have 2 All-NBA players.
The Heat beat the Knicks in 6, while the Celtics had to go the distance against Philly, rallying from 3 games to 2 down to ultimately advance. Baseball this afternoon in Detroit. Rich Hill and 3 relievers combined on a 1-hitter as Pittsburgh blanked Detroit by a score of 6-0. Bottom of the 5th, it's the Dodgers on top of Minnesota 2-1. Byron Buxton with his 9th home run for the lone Minnesota run. Christian Walker, his 11th for Arizona, which is out to an early 1-0 lead over Oakland by a score of 1-0 in the bottom half of the 4th. Right now, San Diego and Kansas City are scoreless in the bottom of the 2nd. Bottom 5 in Colorado, the Reds lead the Rockies by a score of 5-3. And San Francisco with a 4-run first leads the Phillies now 4-0 in the bottom of the 2nd. I'm Rich Ackerman.
Follow us anytime on Twitter. Our handle is @CBS Sports Radio.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Five seconds remaining. Seconds remaining. Seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
This theme. 90s dance music is the theme today on the Rejoin Music. Welcome back to Maggie and Perloff. So glad to have you on this Wednesday. We'll talk Lakers with Jovan Buha, Lakers reporter for The Athletic, at the top of the hour. But we got to get to the Warriors. So Steve Kerr was doing his exit sort of interview with the media. And Perloff, we all knew in some way, in a big way, the Draymond preseason punch of Jordan Poole obviously impacted the season, but to what degree? Here was Kerr admitting that it was big.
There's no hiding from it. The incident with Draymond and Jordan at the beginning of the year played a role in that. It's hard for that not to impact a team. Anytime some trust is lost, then it makes the process much more difficult. And there was some trust lost, and that's as blunt as I can be.
I mean, it's hard to say, is that the reason that they lost to the Lakers in 6? But, I mean, we all knew something was weird about this team. They should have been a tight-knit group considering they had just come off of winning a title together. And, in fact, the opposite was true.
Yeah, but here's my question, though. Is it the emotional stuff and the mental stuff, or was it kind of lack of talent? In the sense that they keep screwing it. They've made a lot of bad personnel decisions, including paying Jordan Poole. Poole did score 20 points a game. Was this a matter of trust, or the fact that they came out in a series against the Lakers and just they didn't have the size? They just constructed a bizarre roster, it seems to me.
Well,
last year they got away with it because there was no real competition in the West.
Right. I get what you're saying, but it's weird to say it was a title team. We brought back everybody.
Right.
And now we fell short. And it wasn't because of a major injury. I mean, yes, Wiggins was away from the team, but it wasn't because obviously Steph Curry got hurt and didn't play for 3 months or something. Nothing obvious besides the off the court stuff.
But they didn't feel like they got this might sound right, but they didn't fail so spectacularly. They got to Game 7.
Game 6.
Game 6 of the second round. And this really, I guess they only won 45 games this year. So, but it wasn't, did you come into this postseason and say, well, this Warriors team is unbeatable? It felt like the cracks were there all season. So I wonder, to me, I understand this emotional stuff. But I also think that maybe lack of talent as well, or am I fooled here? Was this team good enough? Is Jordan Poole good enough, regardless of what happened with Draymond?
No, well, I guess we're going to find out this year, because this past season, the one that we just got through, that we're getting through now, he was obviously not good. But he had a couple high points through the season, but he was injured a little bit, and he basically was relegated to garbage time in the playoffs in some games. In some games, he wasn't playable. There were games against the Lakers, he played 10 minutes and went 0 for 4 and stuff like that. It was just really bizarre.
And he missed that buzzer beater, too, when the defense made sure that he had the ball in his hand because they double-teamed Steph. So that was a big miss. That was a hard shot, but still.
So what do you do with Draymond then? Because there's a lot of questions that have to be answered, but if you're acknowledging that the punch was one of the reasons why everyone was kind of off this year, let alone like the usual Draymond antics, getting suspended for a game because he stepped on Sabonis and all the other things. Here's what Steve Kerr says about Draymond and how important he is to what they're doing.
If Draymond's not back, we're not a championship contender. We know that. I mean, he's that important to winning and to who we are. So I absolutely want him back.
Is that true? I mean, I get it. I understand. I'm smart enough on basketball to understand what Draymond does.
Kerr says this all the time. He always credits Draymond.
But I ask you, are there more instances where Draymond's cost his team? I mean, we all know the big one when he kicked LeBron in the 2016 finals. It's just, I wonder, is that actually true? Does Steve Kerr just not want to see what life is like without Draymond Green? Probably because I'm sure he depends on him. Not just on the court stuff, but he's a guy who I'm sure Kerr can send messages through, It's like, hey, I need you to get this message to the team.
Well, I mean, there's also the sheer logistics of who's going to cover the big man on the other team. And it's amazing that Draymond can still do that.
Yeah.
That's where, imagine if Golden State had advanced and they were facing this Nuggets team. How on earth were they going to cover the Nuggets?
I have no idea. I mean, they beat them soundly last year, but that was because you had no
Murray was gone. And also, Joker's I think Joker's a better player now. I don't exactly know how. He seems way better in this playoffs than he was last year's playoffs.
He's been amazing.
It just seems like every moment of the game he's dominating, which maybe I missed it, but I don't remember that last year. Yeah, I think that regardless of the punch or whatever, they need to build something here. They're missing some players. So even if you bring back Draymond to this crew, is this enough? This core? Clay looks done.
Yeah, he does.
Steph's not getting any younger. He's getting a little old too.
Well, they tried to do this sort of twin thing where they were going to rebuild and go for it at the same time. Turns out that's a bit flawed. And one of the things Kerr did say was because the relationships take a long time. He made it seem like the young guys are kind of over here doing their thing. And then the older kind of established guys are over here doing their thing. And I understand why that would work. I understand how that would work, rather. However, you just went through a title together. How did the team building and the team bonding, if you're talking about, and he didn't say specifically, but I'm assuming he's talking about Poole, Kuminga, Moody. If you're talking about the younger guys, they had opportunities to bond. They had opportunities to all become one team. And I guess it just never happened.
I mean, the ages are different. Obviously, Kuminga's 20 still. So how is he going to bond with a 35-year-old Steph Curry?
Well, but that's also on Steph. If we talk about Aaron Rodgers and how he needed to be bonding more with the wide receivers and, you got to make the effort. I think Brady makes the effort. I think LeBron makes the effort, quite frankly. I think the older guys have to, bring the younger guys along.
Yeah, I see. That's why I'm trying to say, I think this mental, emotional stuff is a big part of this. But doesn't it seem to, if you just look at the Warriors roster, it's just not that, because they missed on Wiseman. They probably missed on Kuminga. Moody was picked a little later. I don't know. They just need a couple more weapons right now, which makes no sense because they won the title last year.
Right.
Draymond basically said that they would have won the title this year if he hadn't gotten in that fight with Poole. How? I just don't understand how they would have pulled this off.
I mean, maybe on vibes. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, just bombing threes, but Clay can't bomb those threes anymore.
Yeah, but
I'm just wondering, what's the next step forward? I don't see the easy path to another title.
Okay, so Steve Kerr was asked about his contract also, which is also, I guess, in the mix. So we got a Draymond potential contract extension they've got to think about. There's a Clay potential contract extension they have to think about. There's their general manager, Bob Myers, who is taking the next few weeks, apparently, to figure out if he actually wants to be the general manager of the team anymore. And there's a Steve Kerr contract thing. Here's what Kerr said.
Our organization has a lot to sort through this summer. And my contract situation is not, nor should it be, at the top of the list. I expect them back, but, Who the hell knows?
I mean, really, who knows? Who knows who's making the decisions, and if that's really like even the way to go to keep this core together.
Yeah, I have no idea. Honestly, it feels like we've already seen this. We've seen this movie, and guess where we saw it? New England. It feels like the end of Tom Brady. Curry being Brady, and then they tried this parallel path where they kind of rebuilt, and it just did never work. So I wonder if Steve Kerr is going to be like Popovich after Duncan left. Is he going to stick around there forever after this core is gone?
Well, you can wait around and hope you lose enough that you land Victor Wembanyama. I mean, what a strategy. And it worked for the Spurs. They won the draft lottery last night.
Right.
Look at that.
But Popovich is 74. How old is Wembanyama? He's
19.
19. How is this? Why is everyone thinking that this is Popovich's?
Interesting. You think their age difference is going to play a role?
Yeah, I mean, when is Wembanyama going to be a championship player? LeBron wasn't a championship player until 25, 26. Jordan, 27, 28. I don't see how this is going to jive.
So you know what? It's a fair question.
Yeah.
However, I know this is... Have you been listening to Hubie Brown on these broadcasts?
Oh,
I mean, he's like 90 and he's still so good. Maybe Popovich has got a little Hubie where it's like, he's just not acting his age.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're going to need at least 7 years for Wembanyama. And the other thing, too, is he's going to stay in San Antonio. I mean, Curry didn't win for a long time.
Yeah, no,
these guys were all older.
And we think, and I think, we're not alone in this, that Wembanyama, the idea that he'll play for 7 straight years without an injury would be insane to think.
How old was Giannis?
People who are 7'4" and 230 pounds are generally not known for their durability.
Giannis was 26. I mean, yeah, it takes a long time to get championship level. Did you think that when everyone's saying, oh, Popovich did it again? The other thing, too, is Popovich got Duncan, right? That was an era when big men won titles.
Yeah, well, and they had Duncan and Robinson together. It was
right. So, but then Steph Curry came along, and there was I don't see any Tim Duncans in the finals. So I think that worked a long time ago. People are saying Wembanyama's half Durant, half I don't know who. Yeah. Come on. Is he really going to be, if he's 7 for 4, is he going to be out on the 3-point line, sticking 3-pointers all game?
Well, he actually doesn't shoot that well from 3, though. He's only like a 25% free, 3-point shooter. He's just a good shooter.
Oh, man, the highlights I saw, he was burying threes. You're kidding me. He's 25% 3-point shooter?
I read that in the New York Times. Yeah.
That is so disappointing. That's why YouTube highlights are so confusing, guys. Because they all shoot 100% in them. Yeah.
How about RPCs in the chat? Pop's going to alienate Wemby the same way he alienated Kawhi. Kawhi thing was that was a very unique situation, right?
Kawhi's alienated on his own. He's an alien.
Yes. He's somebody who would get married in space. Kawhi.
We don't even know.
That's perfect for him, as we're talking about a company now that will marry you in space for $125,000 a seat.
We don't know if Kawhi's single or married, has 3 kids. I have no idea.
That's true. I have no idea. I know Uncle Dennis. That's a family member.
Is he single? I don't know.
Does anyone know if Kawhi Leonard, he probably has been married for 10, 15.
Has he ever had a celebrity relationship? I've never heard of it. I'm looking at the personal.
What? Kawhi Leonard with a celebrity? What do you think he's going to be dating Kendall Jenner? No way.
I mean, who isn't?
Well.
Yeah, by the way.
Zing. Carlos.
Yeah.
The Village Bicycle, huh? Sheesh. Tell us what you really think.
Okay, Leonard is known for his quiet and private demeanor. He rarely gives interviews and avoids questions about his private life.
Also, no one cares. He doesn't have to work to avoid the question because nobody's asking the question. It's not like Steph and Aisha who have like a reality show.
But now that they bring it up, I'm curious. Don't you want to know? Oh, okay. Leonard and his girlfriend have 2 children.
Okay.
And live together. Yeah. There you go.
The most obvious, boring answer on earth.
Yeah.
Happily in a relationship.
He is in that commercial with Jack Harlow. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, he feels like
for some reason he's letting Jack score anything.
He also looks like he'd rather be anywhere else.
He really does.
What a spokesman. Okay, coming up next, we will talk to Jovan Buha, Lakers reporter for The Athletic. What do the Lakers have to do to win Game 2? Do that next. Don't move. More Maggie and Perloff on CBS Sports Radio.
You're in a 5-minute break. 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Five seconds remaining. Seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie's been on vacation, and do you remember how headphones work, Maggie? I'm just curious
Apparently
here.
not.
Are you concussed right now? What just happened?
Oh, we caught on the live stream. Great. I'm like literally crying.
It looked like you were putting on your headphones and one flipped out your ear and hit you in the face. Are you okay?
No, my eyes are like tearing because I hit myself in the face with the headphones. We'll find it and we'll put it out on social media.
Is it going to be a situation where you're going to have a black eye tomorrow and everyone's going to think you're Maggie? I was trying to put on my headphones.
Yeah, right. That's a bad excuse. Like something's going on at home. No, everything's fine.
Luckily, we have it on the live stream, so we don't have to worry about it.
My eyes, it's pretty bad, right? Getting hit in the face with the headphones.
Oh, no.
I know.
Do you need some ice? Do you want us to run and get you some ice?
No, I don't want anything. I want to hear this Kawhi Leonard theory.
They are Maggie and Perloff on CBS Sports Radio.
What a day that was. Everything a lot smoother today. Welcome to Maggie and Perloff. So glad to have you. We're across the country on CBS Sports Radio. Of course, we are streaming on the Odyssey app. We're on SiriusXM channel 158, and you can watch us youtube.com/CBS Sports Radio. Okay, so we all know what happened last night. Lakers got very close to coming and digging themselves all the way out of a 21-point deficit. They got within 3 late in the fourth quarter, but could not complete the comeback. So the Nuggets take game 1. Perloff is feeling as confident about the Lakers as he ever has. I, on the other hand, think that the Nuggets absorbed the Lakers' best punch, and they showed they can still win. So let's go to a man who is there, boots on the ground, reporting for The Athletic. That's Lakers reporter Jovan Buha. Jovan, thanks so much for the time today. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you guys for having me.
No, appreciate it. Okay, so you were just at practice. What do you got for us? Like anything that we should be aware of from the Lakers-Nuggets shoot-arounds today?
Yeah, I mean, I think the big talk was the Lakers' adjustments in the second half, and particularly putting Rui Hachimura on Nikola Jokic, and how effective that was because it freed up Anthony Davis to roam the paint. Just because of the way Jokic plays, he's setting a lot of screens up top, playing around the elbows. And if Anthony Davis is guarding him, that's drawing him away from the rim. And the Lakers just don't have the collective size and rim protection to protect the rim when Anthony Davis isn't there. So I think part of Denver's success, especially in the first half, was just having, drawing AD out and running back cuts, crashing the offensive glass, having guys just, pin guys under the rim. And LA couldn't really counter that. But as you saw, particularly in that fourth quarter, with Rui Hachimura on Nikola Jokic, AD was able to block shots, alter shots, help protect the rim, help protect the defensive glass, and that really stymied Denver's offense and made a big adjustment there. So I think that's something that the Lakers will heavily consider in Game 2 and moving forward, of just likely tweaking the starting lineup. I think going with 3 guards just isn't going to work with that massive Denver front line. So I think I would expect Rui Hachimura to start from Game 2 and beyond. But, obviously we'll see.
Jovan, what was the mood after the game last night and today as far as confidence from the Lakers? Did that second half run make them feel pretty good after the game, or were they down?
I think that they're still confident. I think that there's a healthy level of respect for Denver and how good they are. And just kind of an acknowledgement that even if the Lakers make adjustments, which they obviously are going to, Denver's still really good, and Denver has their own adjustments to make. And it is kind of this interesting cat and mouse game where, the Lakers kind of played their hand a little bit. They were not planning on putting Rui Hachimura on Nikola Jokic in Game 1. That was probably something that they wanted to go to later in the series. So the fact that they were down and kind of forced to play that hand, now Denver can watch film and figure out ways to kind of exploit that and, either run different lineups or just run different actions to try and get AD out of the paint. So I think for the Lakers, on the one hand, they are very encouraged by that second half run. And, for as dominant as Denver was in the first half, LA was almost equally dominant in the second half. But at the same time, they're now down, 0-1 in a series for the first time in these playoffs. First time in the playoffs period that they've trailed in a series. So I think there's also a healthy level of just respect and acknowledgement that they're going to have to be much better in Game 2 if they're going to even this series.
Jovan Buha, Lakers reporter for The Athletic, is joining us here on Maggie and Perloff. Okay, so I kind of feel like Denver kind of smoked out, the Lakers adjustment, right? Like got them to go and kind of, if emergency, break glass, get Rui Hachimura into the game. Can Hachimura replicate what he did on Jokic? Because if you know and I know that's what the Lakers are doing, clearly Denver knows, and they're going to be ready for it.
Yeah, I think so. I think, of course, there's going to be, adjustments from Denver, but I think Rui has shown he did this against Karl Anthony Towns in the regular season, and in the play-in game, he did this against Jaren Jackson Jr. in the first-round series with Memphis. Like, Rui is a big dude. He's a solid 6'8", 6'9", 235, 240. It's funny. Jokic still has a good 40, 50 pounds on him, but he just has a low center of gravity, a strong base. He was able to, he talked about it last night, getting his knees into Jokic's legs and really trying to disrupt him that way. So I think from that perspective, as the initial line of defense, I think he's going to be able to hold up against Jokic. It's just a matter of how does Denver try to get AD away from the rim, because if AD is guarding an Aaron Gordon, a Jeff Green, a Bruce Brown, the Lakers are fine with those guys, spotting up and being catch and shoot threats. Like, they're not worried about Denver shooting. I think the one guy there that they're obviously concerned with is Michael Porter Jr. But, unless Denver downsizes and puts MPJ at the 4 and plays 3 guards around him, which I think would be an advantage for the Lakers, they're not really concerned with Denver's front court shooting aside from Jokic and MPJ. So I think I'm interested in what Denver tries to do to counter that. But I think if the matchups kind of stay the way that they are, I think for the Lakers it is kind of a win if they can just put Rui on Jokic, live with him shooting in front of him. If he's going to try to counter by shooting just more jumpers, LA will gladly live with that versus him going in the post and getting closer to the rim.
And it's not like Denver doesn't have some matchup problems as well on that side. When LeBron late in the game drew Jamal Murray, especially when Murray was in foul trouble, it seemed like the Lakers had a lot of advantages. And I think they can continue to exploit those. Defensively, is there anything that Denver might be really worried about as the series continues?
Yeah, well, Denver was a bottom 5 team in terms of field goal percentage allowed at the rim. They were pretty good at preventing teams from getting to the rim. But the one knock on Jokic, and it's hard to find one, but it is his rim protection, and just he is concerned with foul trouble, and he's a guy who just likes to have a clean bill of fouls. So if you get to the rim against him, he did have a couple blocks last night, but for the most part, you are probably going to get a high percentage shot. So last night the Lakers shot 84% at the rim, which is just an absurd field goal percentage. Like most teams are kind of in the low to mid 60s. So for them to be shooting that efficiently, I think that has to be the game plan for LA moving forward. And the guy, we talked about Anthony Davis defensively, but he had the quietest 40-point game I can ever remember. Like AD, was the leading scorer, and a lot of the attention was Jokic in that 30-point, 20-rebound triple-double. LeBron and his ability to pick on Murray, but like AD was living at the rim and just feasting on the Denver front line. So I think for the Lakers, there's probably more they can do to get AD more touches. As you just mentioned, LeBron picking on Murray in the pick and roll. Like, I think there's a lot LA can do offensively, and I don't really know what Denver can do other than maybe playing some bigger lineups, getting some more Bruce Brown out there. But, I mean, do you take a Jamal Murray out? Like, I don't think you can do that. It's too important for their offense. So there's different things like pre-switching and again, kind of loading up, maybe playing some more zone on the backside. But there's only so much you can do against LeBron James. And I think ultimately that's why I picked the Lakers to win this series in 7. But they do have their work cut out for them, which is how good Denver is offensively.
Jovan, we were having an argument earlier in the show. Do you consider Anthony Davis an exciting player? Exciting in like the highlight sense of an exciting player.
Or Jokic, don't forget.
Or Jokic,
Perloff does not think Jokic and AD are exciting because his bar is Vince Carter.
Vince Carter, Kobe Bryant.
Sure. I mean, if you're holding them to like the athletic swingman standard, and I think that is off, or even the athletic guard standard of like a John Morant, a Donovan Mitchell, like those type of guys. I don't think they check those boxes. But for me, with Jokic, I mean, how many guys can hit that buzzer beater that he made at the end of the third quarter over? I mean, you have Anthony Davis in your grill. He kind of sidesteps him, just launches this shot with his elbow to the side and hits that 30-foot buzzer beater. Like, there aren't many guys that can make that shot. And I think if you enjoy passing, there is no more, in my opinion, entertaining passer than Nikola Jokic. Like, right now, I think he's playing at, like, I voted for him for MVP. I think I was on the right side of history with that vote. And I think he's shown, like, it was debatable in the regular season. You can make arguments for Giannis or Joel Embiid, but he's been the best player, I think, by a clear margin in these playoffs. And going back to his last 4 games, a 53-point game in Game 4 against Phoenix, and then 3 straight 30-point triple-doubles. Like, that's just ridiculous. So he's playing at an incredible level right now. And then with AD, I think it's more of his defense that is fascinating. Like, I haven't seen anyone defend Golden State the way that he defended them. And just Memphis and Golden State completely changed their offensive game plans due to Anthony Davis. And it was very much like, if AD's in the game, we are not going to the rim because we know he's going to block or alter the shot. So I think those guys are entertaining and exciting in different ways. Maybe not the conventional, we're going to dunk on someone, but Jokic is passing, the floaters, the shot making, and then with AD, I think just his defensive versatility and dominance, those to me are exciting, just maybe not in the more traditional ways.
Jovan Buha, Lakers reporter for The Athletic. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. We know this is an extremely busy time, so thanks for carving out some time for us today, Jovan.
Of course. Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you. How about Jovan also voting for Jokic, not going along with the group think of the basketball, whatever?
Well, I mean, it's not radical to vote for a guy who just won the MVP 2 times in a row.
No, but it would have seemed, it did seem a little radical because Embiid's candidacy was so strong.
What was Jokic in second place? I actually don't even know this. Or Giannis?
I don't know. I didn't look. How did the voting break down? Carlos seems like he knows.
Yeah, it was Embiid 1, Jokic 2, Giannis 3.
Got it.
Quick aside.
Yeah.
Last night during the game, I have a group chat with all my friends at my pickup basketball run on Saturday morning.
Okay.
And because we all noticed that Jokic is like Tim in our run. So Tim wins.
Rando Tim?
Tim is taller than everyone, is the best player, wins every single game.
Okay.
Gets every offensive rebound.
It's like the one guy who played in college?
Yeah.
No offense.
Yeah. No, there's 4 or 5 college players, but he's the one. He's young. He's 25.
Oh,
so he wins
he just played in college.
He plays overseas half the year. He's insane.
Oh, wow.
He wins every game. It's not even close. That's what Joker was. Guess who I got as my player comp?
Oh, you guys were doing player comps for all of you?
So
someone in the series.
Yes. Someone was a more athletic J.J. Redick.
Yeah.
Somebody was Tobias Harris. Somebody was...
Oh, it could be anyone in the league?
Anyone in the league.
Who are you? Anyone in the league.
So
you're a three-point shooter, right?
Kind of, yes.
Okay, and you are... Who are you?
You'll never guess. Anyone want to take a stab?
You are... You're not Austin Reeves, are you? You don't get paid like that.
I'm not as athletic as Austin Reeves.
You are a Plumlee. No, you are... Who's Perloff?
I would have said he was Dirk Nowitzki.
I wish.
Hall of Fame.
Mehmet Okur, the former big man for the Jazz that shoots threes.
No. But I play much more like a 6'5" European than I do a 6'10" Mehmet Okur.
You're one of the Bogdan Bogdanoviches.
I'm close. I'm a right-handed Joe Ingles.
Okay, all right.
There you go.
Yes. Can jump about an inch.
But he's Australian.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So,
he said European.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's a European-style game.
They're the same, but different, but the same.
So I play exactly like him. I shoot about 40% of my shots are three-point shots. Same with Joe Ingles.
Wow.
Totally slow, can't jump.
Would have never gotten that.
Crafty. You would have got a right-handed Joe Ingles when you think about it.
Were you proud of that?
Yeah, I was stoked. I was in the league. I mean, what are you were gonna give me Jason Tatum?
No, it's like I am a less successful R.C. Buford. I don't know.
No. I mean, I'm not getting.
Not even on the floor.
I'm not going to be second team All NBA for my player comp, Maggie. I'm going to be a guy who's second off the bench who's going to put in 11 points.
Udonis Haslem. I am not playing at all. I'm just there for.
What did I tell you? Oh, I got a player comp and it was Jimmy Butler. You'd be like, get out of here. I got a player comp and it was Jaylen Brown because him and I are same. Who's your player comp, Maggie?
I mean, my
just
game,
as a person.
As a person, I mean, I'd like to think I'm like, in my best day, I'd like to think I'm like Pat Riley in my best day.
Pat Riley, the most miserable human being on the planet.
Well,
Pat
we're both
Riley?
from upstate New York. I'm from Binghamton. He's from Schenectady. I mean, we're in the similar neck of the woods.
You have nothing in common with Pat Riley.
I sometimes wear my hair back. No,
he's sour. He's just unbelievably intense and kind of miserable.
Is he miserable? Okay.
Oh yeah, read the Wright Thompson piece on him. He's the most miserable person.
I did read that. It was pretty bad. Who am I on my best day? I mean, I guess we can go obvious here. I'd love to be Jeannie Buss, but now I'm just going woman for woman.
Yeah, I don't know why. I see.
By the way, where's Jeannie Buss? Have not heard a peep from her.
She's engaged to my buddy Jay Moore.
Maybe that. Because remember, she was like doing the sit-downs with the LA Times and out there and apologizing for everybody about the Lakers last year. She's not taking a victory lap at all on this.
Yeah, I think she's still active, though.
I'm sure she's active, but she's not like publicly out there taking bows. Like Rob Pelinka's getting rightfully so as a general manager, like getting a lot of the acclaim here.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Anyway.
You're right. By the way, I have a player comp for you. For some reason, you remind me of D'Angelo Russell. Not the person.
No.
But the game.
I would never snitch on somebody.
No, I know. It has nothing to do with that. It's his game.
I'm a D'Angelo Russell.
Yes,
he was like 4 for 20 last night.
But the way, right. But you're a good D'Angelo Russell. Like, kind of just sneaks in there, and you might not notice him, but then he slithers through the lane, and he's
all
super
of a sudden
smooth.
he's the most important person on the floor.
Yeah, like you'll get a jab in there when you don't see Maggie coming. She'll. I don't know.
That is me a little bit.
It's kind of sneaky fast. I don't know. Does that make any sense? That makes no sense, but for some reason in my head.
Sneaky fast, sneaky funny, sneaky,
Yeah. It's like you see D'Angelo Russell.
He's going to torpedo your relationship with Iggy Azalea. You never know what I'm going to do.
Right. You're like, I'm not scared of that guy. Then he puts 31, and then he comes back with 8 points next.
Thanks. So you're calling me inconsistent.
Yeah, you were the number 2 overall pick. I'm an undrafted Australian guy who can't jump.
I still think yours fits better. 855-212-4CBS.
Watch him play and watch me play. You'll laugh. We're the same moves.
Wow, look at you.
No, it's not good. He's not a good player. He's just, you don't see him playing right now, do you, Meg?
I do not. 855-212-4CBS. 855-212-4227. Can I quickly? I'm going to take Charlie quickly in Vancouver. Charlie, what's up, dude?
I just got to take on the conference finals, and I think that our man should never be able to get 15 rebounds against L.A. and Anthony Davis. He should be ashamed of himself because that's effort. He's not that much more talented, or rebounding is all effort. And, I mean, for him he can go off and score 20. Everybody does that.
Right.
But to get 15 rebounds against you should be embarrassed, Davis. That first half was embarrassing.
Charlie, what happened was, though, Davis at the last second would leave Jokic to go block somebody, and Jokic would go weak side and get the rebound. So I think I hate to make an excuse for
strategic.
I think it was the way it was set up. And then when Davis stopped covering Joker, then all of a sudden Davis was able to gobble up the rebound. So is it possible, because of his inclination to try and block shots, got him out of position for the rebound? Will you maybe give him that?
That is possible, and that's what I was going to go to next is you guys were talking about what kind of adjustments can L.A. make.
Yeah.
None. I mean, the adjustments they can make are hoping that the other guys don't perform, and that's possible, but if the role players are, and I don't even want to call Murray a role player, but if those guys are going to perform and hit open shots like they did and score in transition like they did, they'll beat L.A. because they'll just win their home games.
Yeah.
I think they'll win even one in L.A. just because if they continue to perform that way. But usually the role players don't perform like that on the road in the playoffs. So
Charlie,
wouldn't be surprised.
Solid call all the way around, and I appreciate it, and I thought you brought some good points there. I thought what was interesting, we had Jovan Buha, the Lakers reporter for The Athletic, who just joined us, said they weren't planning, the Lakers were not planning to go to Rui Hachimura on Jokic until later in the series.
Yeah, that was interesting.
They're like, emergency. We got to pull the ripcord here. We're down 21 points, and they went to the strategy. So now Denver has that.
I don't totally get it, though, Maggie, because if that's their best lineup on them, they're going to wait till game 3 to I was a little confused. I understand what he was saying, and it kind of makes sense, but if that's their secret weapon, why not use it in game 1?
Well, here's the funny thing. When they did announce the starting lineup for the Lakers and Schroeder was in the starting lineup, it was kind of like, wait a minute, you're going to go smaller against the Nuggets? Yeah. It didn't make sense, and obviously they were down 21.5.
Schroeder's a defensive problem, by the way.
855-212-4CBS, 855-212-4227. All right, coming up, one NFL team making some changes on their offense this season. We'll get to that in just a moment. Don't move. More Maggie and Perloff on CBS Sports Radio.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. minute remaining. "45 seconds remaining. "30 seconds remaining. "15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Time to answer Ask the Pros question of the day, brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Today's question comes from Jake in Wisconsin. What do you think of Jordan Love? Is he going to be the heir apparent in Green Bay? Don't forget, you can submit a question by going to cbssportsradio.com/askthepros or tweeting it at CBS Sports Radio using the hashtag Ask the Pros. Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get guaranteed low prices and excellent customer service from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts. So Jordan Love in the news a little bit. Maggie, what do you think? What's going on there?
Okay, so the Packers were doing some media and some press. I almost dropped something. Sorry. We're doing some media, and Adam Stenavich is the offensive coordinator for the Packers. Obviously.
Steno.
Obviously.
Goody, Steno.
LaFleur's calling the plays. But Stenavich was asked about Jordan Love and how well does he know the playbook.
Obviously, he doesn't have the playing experience that Aaron had. But from a playbook standpoint, I think pretty much all of it's on the table. You know, he's been around for 3 years, like you said, and, really attacked it. Even last year, you could see him coming to his own, felt a lot more comfortable. So this year, he's really hitting it on all cylinders, and so I'm really excited to kind of see what he's going to bring.
Okay, yeah, I would think Jordan Love's going to know the playbook. I mean, if he doesn't know the playbook now after 3 years, what's he been doing this whole time?
It's not a matter of just memorizing the playbook and knowing what is what. I think it's being able to execute it when you're actually getting chased by the other team.
Well, yeah, but the playbook should be all open to him. This isn't a rookie who's coming in, who's just getting this material for the first time or taking his first snaps. Like,
he's thrown 80 passes in the NFL,
No,
Maggie. He has no idea what's going on.
I know, but he's been in the program.
But is that the
since
same?
2020.
Is that the same to be in the program and practice with the team and sit there and learn from? No, of course you have to learn that kind of thing on the job. I think in many ways he's going to be like a rookie. He's not just because he's a third-year player doesn't mean he's going to be a third-year player.
Oh, see, I think our expectations for Love have to be higher than just a rookie.
Rodgers didn't come out guns a-blazing. Didn't he struggle his first year a little bit?
Well, they missed the playoffs his first year, but I don't know. Like, I think the expectations have to be a bit higher. You know,
you can't expect 40 touchdowns and 10 picks like Aaron Rodgers.
I don't know about that, but that's like Rodgers at his peak. I'm not expecting an MVP season, but he should not look like a rookie. No, I think if he does, I think that will be an alarming thing for the Packers.
I don't think he's going to. That's a great point. I don't think he's going to look like a rookie, but I don't think he's going to be fully mature. Yeah, his first year as a full-time starter, Rodgers had 28 touchdowns and 13 picks. The next year, he completely took off, had 30 touchdowns, 7 picks.
Yeah, so, he had 13 picks since?
A little bit of a learning curve. He wasn't full. I think that's a really interesting question. Do you have to give Jordan Love a little leeway as if he's closer to a rookie? Or do you expect him to... You cannot expect him to be anything like Aaron Rodgers. That's unfair.
Not like Aaron Rodgers, but I expect him to be at... he should be a middle of the pack quarterback. He should be decent. He shouldn't look lost out there. There shouldn't be a Sam Darnold seeing ghosts or like a Zach Wilson can't complete a pass. It can't look like that.
Well, I mean,
he should know.
Not going to look like that.
Well, he should know the protections. He should know all that stuff. He should be organized. He should be able to execute calling plays in the huddle. All of those things that rookies sometimes struggle with. Those things I feel like should be out of his system.
You're right. They should be. But I do think once you really start having to start every game, you're going to see a lot of new things. I don't think you can fully train in the practice room for those kind of things.
Well, yeah, because defenses are going to throw weird things at you and stuff.
Yeah.
But I expect to see a level of poise from Jordan Love that we would not see from a rookie.
Oh, yeah.
He's got to be better than that.
Well, right. He's a little older now. He's 24, so he's still 2 years younger than Hendon Hooker.
I mean, you and I sound like we're 2 years younger than Hendon Hooker. Hendon Hooker, if we judge everyone by how old Hendon Hooker is, it's not going to be fair.
By the way, I expected Jordan Love to be 25, 26.
So did I.
He's a little young, so maybe he has some time here. I think he's going to be good. I'm optimistic. I think the offense also has he's going to get some help. He has Aaron Jones there. He has A.J. Dillon there.
Right.
He's been working with these young guys, these receivers. He seemed comfortable with the young receivers. I think he's all set up to be, at least, as you said, a medium quarterback, which I think Green Bay would take.
I think they're looking for, listen, I understand it was unique circumstances where he would be sitting behind Rodgers for as long as he did, especially because I think when Green Bay drafted him, I don't think they saw him sitting there for 3 years.
But they were the team that sits people behind the quarterback.
I know, but in this day and age, not Rodgers back in the early 2000s. It's different now with the rookie wage scale.
But even that was rare for Rodgers, too.
That was rare then, right? Yeah. A year. Usually he sat for a year. That was the thing. Or Eli Manning's case, like 10 games or something. But I think that the front office never intended for him to sit for 3 years. Rodgers just got on a heater and won 2 more MVPs and everything changed. But they were expecting him to be good 2 years ago. If he's not good now.
No, they were not expecting him to be good 2 years ago. I don't think they never thought.
I think they thought that he was going to sit behind Rodgers for 1 year.
I'm not so sure about that. I think. Yes, they maybe hoped that, but he was pretty raw. I mean, he came out of Utah State. It's not like he came out of Alabama. I think he's going to be great. So what's a good season for Jordan Love? Because you said he's not going to be Rodgers. Give me a touchdown to interception just as would you be happy if he had 23 touchdowns and 12 picks?
It's a Daniel Jones kind of year. No, I'm sorry.
That is totally, it's good Daniel Jones.
That would get you $90 million in this league.
Like that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like a medium season.
Can I speak? I'm thinking you're hoping for upwards in the high 20s.
Okay.
Minimum. And if you reach 30 touchdowns, you'd be like, yes. We've got him.
Got it.
Interceptions, they're going to happen. Probably. Right. Now, the question is, are they going to be trailing in a lot of these games?
Oh, yeah.
Because that's always the big thing with interceptions generally and young quarterbacks. Because then when it's like, all right, we're down 2 touchdowns, we're going to have to really try to get back in this game. Considering the defense should have guys back, they should be good. The run game, I don't anticipate that Green Bay is going to have to dig themselves out a lot of holes here. So I wouldn't think his interceptions would be high.
Yes, and they have one of the easier schedules. They have, as you'd expect in the NFC North, they're 24th in strength of schedule based on last year's record. That's pretty good. You're right. They should be in games. Although I do like, as a fantasy football player, when you're down 3 touchdowns, you can start racking up a lot of yards and touchdowns for a young quarterback. How about some empty yards?
That's what it's all about.
Is there anything wrong with a few empty yards, a few extra points at the end of a game?
When do you do your first fantasy football thing? Have you already done it? After the draft?
No, I'm not.
When's the first time you look, everyone in the room, when's the first time you look at a fantasy football thing?
No, they're guys.
Training camp?
Yeah. No, it's definitely July. Yeah. I think.
You're still in your off seasons.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Our buddy Josh Norris, who runs Underdog Fantasy, is already doing all these best ball tournaments. And I feel like he's alone on the internet. He'll tweet. He's like, I just got, I don't know, Nick Chubb in the 4th round. I'm so excited. I'm like, dude, really? It's May.
Listen, when that's your life, you gotta, it's got to be 24/7. You can't just parachute in.
Yeah, I don't think you need to do that to enjoy fantasy football. I don't think you need. First of all, too, what's your quick take on having 10 different teams and all that?
I never did it, partially because I just don't have the time. But I would say 2 max.
Right, because you're if you put out 10 teams and you win a league, you're no genius. You're just playing the odds.
Yeah, right. You're just the blind squirrel gets a nut type of thing. No, I am much happier that I have gotten fantasy football out of my life. Am I allowed to admit that?
Yeah, that's fine.
The year that my son was born, he was born in July, And I was like, I just can't do fantasy football. I had to go back to work. Like, it was just all too much. And so I was like, I got to drop out of my fantasy football teams. And, whew, I got to tell you, life on the other side is not bad.
I don't even want to hear about it because I the one player I get every year is Lamar Jackson. So I was trotting out some Snoop Hundley for the playoffs this year.
I know.
And it destroyed me. It was so depressing. By week 16.
We all know about your secret weapon, KJ Osborne.
the auto draft weapon?
Yeah.
Because this happens every year in the middle of my big money draft. The internet will drop. I have a partner in the middle. The internet will drop, and we'll be like, oh no. And then we come back. It gets back. We're back. What do you mean we drafted KJ Osborne in the sixth round? Who's KJ Osborne?
We got $5,000 on this league.
Yeah, and then KJ Osborne, every time he catches a touchdown, we're like, yes, auto draft.
855-212-4CBS. It's going to be here before we know it. 855-212-4227. All right, coming up, one-star receivers making a bold claim. Can he back it up? Get to that in just a moment after this CBS Sports Update with Rich Ackerman.
CBS Sports Radio. Sports Flash.
And it's sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive can protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, RV, and more. In short, a lot of things bundled today at Progressive.com. The Eastern Conference Finals of the NBA playoffs begin tonight in Boston with the Celtics looking to return to the NBA Finals, while the Heat, the only second eighth seed to advance this far. Miami has been led by the spectacular Jimmy Butler, who's averaged over 25 points a game in the postseason, and his belief in this team even stronger.
Just like I mean every year when I say we're going to win a championship, I mean it. This year is our year. We're going to go into this game one and do what we're supposed to do and be the first one to four. Like I said, we're very capable of it. We have enough. Guys are playing some incredible basketball.
Baseball this afternoon. Dustin May was forced to leave this start with elbow pain, the same elbow that he had Tommy John surgery on. And right now the Dodgers trail the Twins 3-2 in the bottom of the seventh. Also bottom seven, Oakland and Arizona even at 3. Bottom of the fifth, it's Kansas City 1, San Diego 0. In the National League bottom 6, Philadelphia, San Francisco even at 4. Colorado with an 11-5 lead over Cincinnati, top 9. And Pittsburgh blanked Detroit 6-0. I'm Rich Ackerman.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. 2 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Five seconds remaining. Seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Day here on Maggie and Perloff, and Carlos saved the best for last. You know, the SNL skit that they did that made this song even more famous, they used to always show the outside of the China Club in New York City. That was a real place. Real place.
I've been there.
Really? Like when in its heyday? Like when you're not old enough?
No, it was like past its like heyday. You know. Yeah, I don't even know if it was the original iteration, but it was called the China Club, and I was there.
Is there anything sadder than being at a once famous nightclub that has totally lost its fastball and like the whole crowd has moved on somewhere else, but
one would say it's the Justin Verlander of clubs.
How dare you? 855-212-4CBS, 855-212-4227.
That would be a club that had an amazing resurgence very late in its career.
Listen, it's a club married to Kate Upton, so it's doing something right. But
I was about to say the only clubs I've ever been to were well after that. I never got into it.
Never hit Limelight or any of those places?
Actually, like, I would read about those places. Like Limelight, we would go out, go to like the local corner pub and could barely get into that. I don't know how we were going to get into Limelight.
You guys remember Copacabana?
I mean, I've only heard like Sinatra used to be at Copacabana. And
Is that still around?
No, Yankees, I don't think so. But I went to like either the original or second iteration of it.
Wow, that was like Mickey Mantle used to go to the Copacabana, right?
It had a really long run.
Yeah, like Yogi Berra, and Lucille Ball and stuff.
It's like the Rich Hill of clubs, if we're going to keep comparing baseball pictures.
Wow.
Real quick,
know who mountain.
Can I tell you one quick club story?
Yeah.
I had, when the early 2000s was, I was at the NFL, and NFL Films did a piece on the draft in New York, and they said, New York is known for its club life. And then they showed a B-roll shot of the Jekyll and Hyde bar in the West Village.
Oh, this is like a. How do you explain that to other people?
It's a tourist bar.
Yeah, it's like the Hard Rock Cafe, sort of.
Yeah, it's like the Hard Rock Cafe, and it is nothing like glove. They show New York is known for its late night glove life, and they show Jekyll and Hyde.
It's like right in Times
Square.
These are like next to like the Red Lobster in Times Square.
Yeah, these are two guys who these were like football film guys. They, they could film a practice. They had no idea what club life was like in New York. They should have asked me. I would have known where to go.
Point them in the right direction. Here, I can't get in, but go ahead.
Yeah, go to the Limelight. The Limelight was in a church on 6th Avenue, right?
Yes.
Did you go to that?
No, I was too young for that.
No, I didn't even know what years was that. I never went.
Like it was in the 90s.
The Limelight?
I thought so.
Okay.
That was 90s. Marquee was the fancy place.
I went to that place.
One Oak. I don't know. Nobody cares about this. Okay, 855-212-4CBS. Us not going to these nightclubs. 855-212-4227.
Reading about them in the local paper. That's
the problem is with nightclubs is my hearing must not be great because I can't hear. People would be shouting like into my ear. And you can't have a conversation. Anyway, we sound old. Okay.
Yeah, my problem is that red velvet rope that keeps me out of these places. That's my problem.
It's like your force field.
Yeah.
You can hear plenty when you're waiting online for an hour and a half.
You're like,
to
I
watch
love that song when you're like outside in the street fist pumping.
Yeah, you're watching good-looking people walk past me into the club, but you can hear fine then, Maggie.
It's like, my name's on the list. There is no list. What's the secret password? Get the hell out of here. So let's get to our shot of the day.
He shoots!
And the shot of the day is brought to you by Casamigos Tequila. Casamigos is brought to you by those who drink it. This is a Casamigos show. So earlier in the show, we were talking about Perloff's enigmatic and legendary friend, Bruce. Bruce has a glass eye that he once lost mid-coitus. As Perloff loves to point out, he found it. So I guess all's well that ends well. Here's another story about Bruce's wedding.
Me and a few friends were like, you know what? Let's party in Atlantic City area.
Oh, smart.
For a while, and then we'll make our way up there to Rutgers.
So you pregame for Bruce's wedding?
We were basically
we
were on a 48-hour bender, and we showed up at Bruce's wedding, and we were late. We walked in the middle of the ceremony. He was about to sort of step on the glass, Jewish wedding style.
Yeah.
And
break
then
the glass, yeah.
I just remember I was getting through the ceremony. It was fun and whatever. And I looked over. I'm like, how's my friend doing? I wonder if he's even still alive. Like, he was in rough shape. And then all of a sudden, someone taps the mic, says, "Is this thing working?"
Oh, no.
And I think he basically did Ferris Bueller sang Danke Shane, but a drunken version of Danke Shane or something. Some song or Sinatra, something he shouldn't have been singing, decided to take over from the band and sing. Yeah, we almost got kicked out of that wedding.
This sounds like The Hangover when they're getting the tuxes delivered, like while they're on the highway on the way to the wedding.
It was bad. It was really bad.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Bruce's wedding. Surprised you remembered any of it.
Barely.
He's just like tapping on the mic. Is like, "Fly me to the moon." Like, nobody wants to hear it.
Oh, good times. Yeah. I mean, I don't even remember, but I remember every wedding in our 20s there was drama. Some kind of wild
drama.
scene. Drama in a really fun way. Not like bad drama. I mean like fun, like so-and-so hooked up with so-and-so, someone was too drunk.
Shenanigans, if you will.
Shenanigans, something inappropriate in the speech. Love that stuff.
Oh, man, those inappropriate speeches, everyone's got them. They're just so brutal. Okay, we got some more to do here, including, Carlos, can we do a Cowboys Quickie for today? Well, we all remember that Kellen Moore, the former offensive coordinator for the Cowboys, has now moved on, Perloff. He is with the LA Chargers. So Brian Schottenheimer has now been elevated to offensive coordinator. What does he have in store for this year with the Cowboys? Well, here you go.
As you guys know, look, the system's not broke. I mean, it's not broken. They've won a lot of games here. Mike's been around for that. They've scored a ton of points. I have a ton of respect for Kellen and Nuss and Skip and Philbin, those guys. I mean, I've coached with most of those guys before.
All right, so what exactly do you do around here? Okay, so cool.
The music totally overwhelmed that. I don't know what the heck. What did he say?
He's basically said everything's great, so cool.
What?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. See you guys in training camp.
Okay. I don't know. Yeah, their offense has been really good the last few years, so.
That's your Cowboys cookie for today.
What are we supposed to make of it?
Well, I mean, if I were the offense coordinator and the head coach was calling plays, I'd be like, yeah, this is great, but, we've got improvements we're going to make. We got some tweaking we need to do.
I would just say,
we're good.
Wide receivers do not drop the ball and hand it to the cornerback like you did repeatedly last year. Yeah, I'm curious. He just is clearly avoiding the question because you do have some serious questions about the Cowboys. Like, are you going to run Tony Pollard all the time coming off a broken leg? Are you going to pass more?
Pollard, love Tony Pollard, right?
Yeah.
I think everyone loves Tony Pollard, but he's never been the feature back.
Well, right. So are you going to be more of a passing offense next year? Is Dak going to open it up?
They got our buddy Deuce Vaughn is going to be there.
Right, who's more of a third down back.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really fun. He does have some serious questions. I think it's going to be a big Dak year. I think Dak is going to come out flinging it around.
That's what they were trying to go away from, though.
But they can't. They don't have the personnel anymore. Tony Pollard, Malik Davis, Ronald Jones, Deuce Vaughn. I don't know. Those guys scare you? Pollard's great, but I assume he's going to be slowed down a little bit.
Yeah, but here's the thing about a rushing attack. It's like it can be guys from out of nowhere that all of a sudden, become incredibly effective. I don't necessarily need tons of star power, quote unquote, from my running back room.
Yeah, no, of course not.
Yeah. So
Isaiah Pacheco.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I just, they added Brandon Cooks.
I know. Their receiver core is awesome. CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, Michael Gallup, who's healthy now. If they just gotten Dalton Kincaid in the draft, oh, man, that would have been amazing.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But you got to admit, if Dalton Kincaid was with the Cowboys, you'd be fired up about it. You just said nervous because he's a Bill. Well, I'm nervous because he's coming off a back injury. It's really generally the thing. I mean,
yeah,
they've drafted who? Schoonmaker or whatever?
Yeah. They got a second round tight end. Now they're going to be good. Their line is probably going to be good if they can keep guys on the field.
What do you think about this? I mean, say the Eagles even take a half a step back, a little bit of a regression. Is it possible that the Cowboys have the number one overall seed in the NFC?
I mean, yeah, they won,
right?
Yeah,
because who knows what's going on with San Francisco's quarterback situation? I mean, we're gonna disagree about Darnold all year long, and I just. Yeah.
Well, I mean, listen.
I think you are who you are after 5 years. Perloff thinks he's going to look great.
The Cowboys won 12 games the last 2 seasons. I think it'd be.
Yeah, but I think everyone believes that the Eagles are still a juggernaut, and even more so after they had this draft where they took everyone from Georgia.
How can you possibly think that?
Well,
because
they were in the Super Bowl last year?
Well, yeah, but they definitely, they lost key guys. All right, so the NFC odds. Number one are the Eagles at plus 250, then the Niners second at plus 425, then the Cowboys third. Okay. So at least they're top three.
They're within striking distance.
They're within I think the Eagles have to take a step back.
Other thing, too, about Dak, do you think that the interceptions at the end of last season maybe – I know they wanted him to keep being aggressive, but the interceptions were noticeable, and not all of them were drops.
Well, I mean,
there were a lot, but not all of them were drops.
15 during the season, at least 8 were drops.
Okay, but
one of them was so insane. It was it's probably the best throw of the year. It was to one of those. No, not that one. It was to some scrubby tight end, maybe Hendershot, and hit him in the chest, bobbled it for about 4 yards, and then ended up flinging it to the other team. I'm telling you, this better receiving core is going to help. The other thing, too, is he had no one to throw it to except CeeDee Lamb. Right. So I'd actually like to hear a real answer on this because what is their offense going to look like? We need to know. Last year, Tony Romo said they were going to run the ball all the time.
Yeah, and it didn't really end up happening.
It never happened.
No, I think also because, you get a left tackle who gets hurt, before week 1. Dak got hurt in week 2. It was a little bit different last year.
Yeah.
Interesting. Nebby's in the chat, youtube.com/CBS Sports Radio, where if you are in the chat and have not subscribed yet to the YouTube channel, please do. It gets us one step closer to destroying the Carson Wentz poster that is behind Perloff live on the show. Nebby says we need an Advice Duck shirt available to buy. I'm wearing the Maggie and Perloff merch T-shirt today.
I love that.
Advice Duck shirt?
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
What does that look like?
I just a simple sort of. We take a picture of you in the Advice Duck and we put it through that fancy AI filter and put it on a shirt.
Okay.
Is that called AI or is that just Photoshop? I don't know.
It's Photoshop. We've got also the photos from Nick in Texas that we got to put in the frames out on the set. All right, we got a lot to do. Stu Kovacs, thank you. Carlos Ortiz, thank you. Thank you to Chip Patterson. Thank you to Jovan Buha. Thank you to the Weedos, the Purple Drinkers, the Callers. We'll see you tomorrow.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Five seconds remaining. Seconds remaining. 15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
He's live. He's nationwide on CBS Sports Radio. This is the Zach Gelb Show. Here's your host, Zach Gelb.
From the place that not overly ostentatious studios of CBS Sports Radio here in beautiful New York City, sitting on top of the 10th floor of 345 Hudson Street. Welcome on in to a Wednesday edition of the Zach Gelb Show across all of our great local CBS Sports Radio affiliates, Sirius XM, Channel 158, and that free Odyssey app. 855-212-4CBS, number to jump on in, 855-212-4227. You can always get at me on Instagram, where I'm straight flexing, or via the good old cesspool of Twitter, at Zach Gelb. That's ZACHGELB. I just saw Denny, our main guy, Denny, walking around the studio. Denny hooked it up today because I guess someone brought in a bunch of food. There was penne alla vodka, there was chicken parm, veal parm as well. And I walk over to get myself a little piece of chicken, get some free dinner, a little veal as well. And I'm a sucker for penne alla vodka. I was hoping to be rigatoni alla vodka, but penne alla vodka is okay. And of course, in typical CBS Sports Radio fashion, you have all this food, but no utensils and no plates. So Denny comes running around the corner. He's like, I got the plates. I got the utensils. I don't know where he's stashing those things, but he finds me, gives me a plate, gives me a fork, gives me a knife, and I just had a wonderful dinner before the start of this show. So if I pass out during the show because I'm in like some sort of food coma, now you know why. But we're going to have an awesome kick-ass Wednesday show. Alex Solana is going to join us coming up 20 minutes from now. You have game one between the Heat and the Celtics. Alex does a great job pre and post on the Heat Radio Network. We will also be joined today on the Zach Gelb Show on CBS Sports Radio by Avery Johnson at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. And then we will preview the PGA Championship with Alex Myers from Golf Digest at 9:20 p.m. Eastern, 6:20 p.m. Pacific. But first up, producing this extravaganza for the next 4 hours is no other than Hot Take Hickey.
Hot Take Hickey.
You actually got to be annoyed today, Hot Take Hickey. You probably think you're in a good mood right now, correct, Amundo?
I know I'm in a good mood. So what is it? What are you about to say that's going to ruin it, possibly?
Well, like, you're the pasta man. You are the David Pasternak here of CBS Sports Radio. Each and every night, you bring in a different dish of pasta. When
That's
they
right.
have